turn. We'll have the opening kickoff here. This Spartan football game, this MCAC matchup. It's the M-State Spartans going up against the Vermilion Ironhawks. And we'll take a 3-minute timeout, and we'll be back with the opening kickoff right after this.
Stephanie Gerhardson is with us, the director of the theater at M-State in Fergus Falls. If you have a person who's really interested in pursuing theater at the next level, what are the things that really will benefit them by coming to M-State first and getting that their footing in theater and maybe just figuring it out which way they want to go?
The thing about it is, we are obviously smaller. The benefit of that is you get to do everything. You kind of get exposed to everything, whether you want to or not, And so I have students, standing on the stage while I'm trying to focus lights, or I have students running the light board or the sound board. Sometimes students will just say, I don't have time this semester, can I just do tech? So they're don't have to be at rehearsal every day. So then they just start getting into it, or they help with props, or they take a stagecraft class and kind of figure it out. So because we are smaller, a lot of my students have to multitask. I will have a student being an actor and a stage manager, which is really hard. But, they can do it. And so they just are able to experience everything, and they don't have to pick.
Steph Gerhardson from the College Theater Department at M-State. Jim Iverson is with us from M-State. Jim is the Director of Bands. When a student comes to you and says, I want to be involved in your band program, what's the commitment level? I mean, how much are you expecting from me rehearsal-wise? What are assigned projects that we have? How would you answer that question? How much time is going to be commanded from the music department?
Depends on their area of study. If they are going into being a music major, I probably have a little bit higher expectations for them as far as, practice time and things like that are requirements for their instrument, because we want to send them off to a 4-year institution. Then hopefully after they've been at M-State, when they're off to that new institution, they need to be coming in with the expectations that college has. But on the other hand, students that are just there for playing for their own pleasure, it can be a matter of just showing up for rehearsals on a Tuesday evening.
Jim Iverson from M-State, he's the Director of Bands.
Welcome back to the campus of M-State in Fergus Falls. Spartan football here this afternoon on Channel 977. And happy to be with you right now. It's a beautiful September afternoon. We're hoping it stays that way on the radar. There is some danger of some rain and thunderstorms. But right now, you wouldn't notice it at all. It's beautiful with a slight breeze. But we'll keep an eye on that as the afternoon progresses. Hopefully Mother Nature cooperates and we're able to get the game in timely fashion or not have any, especially lightning, obviously. You can always play in rain and get through that, but hopefully the lightning and electricity can stay away. But we'll take care of what we can control right now, and it'll be the Spartans kicking off here to the Ironhawks to start the game. And it'll be Carson McKnight kicking it away here for M-State. And back deep for Vermilion is number 26, Amon Robinson, the returner. And also looks like it is Quantarius Armstrong back deep, standing at their own 15-yard line. It's a line drive kick, and it goes to Robinson. Robinson has it, 15, 20, 25, cuts back left 30, up the field and brought down around the 34-yard line. Tackle made there on special teams by the Spartans. It was Cheo Trotter making the play, and Vermilion will have the ball 1st and 10. And we'll start the festivities here. Well, they're going to mark it at the 35, right on the 35-yard line. Vermilion will have it 1st and 10. So we'll get a first look at the Spartan defense here. And, man, did they come up big last Saturday after trailing 29-21 at the half against the NDSCS Wildcats, one of the top rivals, one of the top teams in Division III junior college football. The Spartans held them scoreless in the second half on their way to a big 35-29 win. And we'll take a look here as the Ironhawks have the ball. They're going to work out of the gun. And the handoff up the middle. It's going to be a short gain as that goes to struggling with that number here. Yeah, it looks like number 34. Of course, we don't have a number 34 on the roster. Do we have a 34 over here on this roster? Yep, no number 34. So we're going to have to improvise a little bit here. I wonder if it might be Stephen Womack. He got the most carries last time, and his number was listed at 30. We're going to go with Womack right now and see if that happens to be right. He gets it again. He's across the 35, wrapped up. Good tackle there made by the Spartans' Jordan Madrano. And it'll be a gain of about a yard, maybe 2. And it'll be 3rd down and 7 with the ball at the 38-yard line for the Ironhawks. Just over a minute into the game. Spartans trying to stay undefeated on the year. We had Spartan volleyball team staying undefeated in Southern Division play. Spartan golf team in action tomorrow and Monday with their home Spartan Invitational. Big week for all the fall M-State sport teams. So back to pass are the Ironhawks. He loses the ball, and it is recovered by Vermilion, but a major loss way back to the 25-yard line. Quarterback Miles Holder went back to throw it, and DeAndre Hodges was right in his face. He lost the football, and the Ironhawks were able to jump on the ball, but it's a loss of 12 yards, and it'll bring up 4th down and probably around 19 in a punting situation for Vermilion. Good job there, Spartan defense. Couple short yardage runs and then got to the quarterback right away and able to almost force a turnover but force a major loss as Vermilion ready to punt it away, and it's a low snap, takes a bounce there. Just able to get it off was the punter, Brennan Bondas. It's received by M-State just barely in their own territory, and not able to run it back very far was Denzel Miller. And there's a penalty marker on the field, came in late, as the Spartans currently would be having the ball starting on their own 49-yard line, 1st and 10. But let's see what the officials come up with here for a penalty. It's an illegal block in the back on the Spartans. So that will push M-State back from their own 49-yard line back away. So first penalty of the game, block in the back on the punt return. So Spartans will have it 1st and 10, and they're going to mark it off. It's going to mark it off from the 49-yard line, and that'll bring it back to the 39-yard line, a 10-yard penalty. So 1st and 10, M-State, they have it at their own 39-yard line. 12:44 to play first quarter, and no score. KJ Cooper, the freshman quarterback, works out of the gun. No one in the backfield. He's back to pass. Steps up, dumps it off. Rondarius Gregory breaks a tackle. He's got room across midfield. 45-40. Sidesteps another man across the 30 and down to the 28-yard line. And that will be a gain of 33 yards. Cooper dumps it off to Gregory, and it's a big gain right off the bat. And the Spartans in Ironhawk territory. They have a 1st down and 10 from the Vermilion 29-yard line. So that's a gain, we'll call it 32 yards on the play. And now Cooper, 2-back set here this time, working out of the gun. Receiver wide right, handoff goes to Gregory. Up the middle goes Rondarius across the 25. Burrows his way forward to the 22, maybe the 23 or 22-yard line. Well, his knee was down at the 24, I guess, so it'll be to the 24-yard line, a 5-yard gain for Gregory. Rondarius, the Spartans' leading rusher on the season. He's a returning All-American from a year ago. He averages 7.5 yards per carry on the year. He has 4 touchdowns in the game, or in the game. I'm getting ahead of myself on the year so far. As KJ Cooper will work out of the shotgun, out wide right for M-State is Isaac Freitag. Another receiver out left. Cooper looking for Freitag, gets his man at the 15 to the 10, cuts back by another one, trying to lunge his way forward towards the end zone, but he's going to be down at about the 2 or 3 yard line. But that'll be a gain of 20 or 21 yards as they are going to mark it looks like at about the 2-yard line. That's a 22-yard gain to Freitag. Isaac Freitag's had a nice year. 7 catches, 133 yards. He averages 19 yards per catch this season. As Spartans look to get the first points on the board, out wide left for M State is Eustace McGowan. Freitag wide right. Gregory in the backfield, Cooper out of the gun, and there's a penalty. It's going to be a false start on the Spartans. We'll wait for the official ruling here on the play, but looked like the Spartans jumped. And if that's the case, it'll be moved back to about the 7-yard line. It is false start on the Spartans. 5-yard penalty. That'll move the M State back to the 7-yard line. So it'll be first and goal from the 7. 10:58 to play. First quarter, no score. Spartans hoping to change that here. With McGowan wide left, Freitag wide right. It is Jacob Dreitz and Gregory in the backfield. Cooper out of the gun, looking right. He wants Freitag across the middle, and Isaac Freitag in the end zone for the Spartan touchdown. Isaac Freitag, his second catch. It's a 7-yard touchdown reception. And that's Isaac's first touchdown of the year. And that's with 10:55 to play in the first quarter. So Freitag, 7-yard touchdown reception. And now Carson McKnight. We mentioned how accurate a kicker he is. And the kick is down. It's blocked, but the Ironhawks jumped early. That's going to be redone. The flag is down. They were offsides, I believe.
Got a penalty on the field.
So we'll wait for it. It is offsides. Yeah, coming from the far side, I believe, was it Alexander? I'm not sure. But he came. He tried to time it just right, and he was all the way through way too quickly and got the jump to block the kick. So Spartans will retry the extra point. They'll move it up a yard here, and they'll try the extra point one more time as McKnight, who's 14 for 15 on the year, extra points, 3 for 3 on field goals. He will attempt the extra point. And snap a little low. It's handled though, and the kick is up, and it's right through the middle of the uprights. And Carson McKnight knocks it through. 7-0, the Spartans with the early lead here on Vermilion. And we'll take a quick timeout, and we'll be back with the ensuing kickoff right after this.
Jeff Sands is a member of the music faculty at M State. As far as looking ahead to welcoming new students next year, high school students this year, should they start preparing now if they're wanting to get involved in the college here and specifically in the music department? Is it too early to get started in making your prep for next year?
Well, not really too early. I mean, we're really welcoming. I guess the real pressing thing is if you are a potential student and you're wanting to get a scholarship, because scholarship does require a little bit more of an application, and in music, we do have an audition that is along with that. As far as just participating, either in our courses or in our ensembles, it probably doesn't require as much advanced work or preparation to get ready for. They're probably already playing, like let's say if it's a high school student that's graduating, you're probably already performing in your high school ensemble. So if you're still planning on continuing performing in an ensemble with us, then it's simply a matter of registering for the course at M State.
Jeff Sands from M State in Fergus Falls.
Back here with Spartan football. M State just got on the board. Isaac Freitag, a 7-yard touchdown reception from KJ Cooper. And now Carson McKnight will kick it away off to Vermilion and ready to field it. For the Ironhawks at the 10-yard line across the 20. It's John Terrius Turner up the far sideline across the 30. Forced out of bounds at the 33-yard line, and Vermilion will have it 1st and 10. We mentioned Spartans heavy favorites in this one. The Vermilion, you looked up and down their roster, there is not a sophomore on the roster. So it's as much of a rebuild as you can get, even at the junior college level. You're with players only for a couple years. You're not as much rebuilding sometimes as reloading, as there's always a constant shift of players. But it is key to have a core group of sophomores returning that have been through it and have some leadership. And so the Ironhawks, with their young roster, really in only their second game, still working through a lot of things and trying to improve with a new head coach and learning the system. So we'll see how it goes today. Tough task for them on the road at the undefeated Spartans. So back to pass are the Ironhawks. Pass is complete on the near side, going out of bounds at the 40-yard line. It's a completed pass to John Terrius Turner. That's from quarterback Miles Holder. And that's a gain of 7 yards on the play. It'll bring up 3rd down and 3 for Vermilion. The ball at the 40-yard line. So Miles Holder, freshman quarterback from West Orlando, Florida. 198 pounds, 6'2" quarterback. 2nd and 3 here for Vermilion. And Holder out of the gun again. We're still trying to track down who number 34 is. We think he might be Stephen Womack, but we're not sure. The numbers do not match up with the roster. They hand it off. We'll call him Womack. It'll be a loss of a yard. Loss of a yard on the play, and that'll bring up 3rd down and 4. So 3rd down and 4 for Vermilion. Spartans lead at 7-0. We have 10 minutes to go here in the first quarter, as the Ironhawks try to convert here on 3rd down and move the chains. They got 2 receivers right. 1 receiver left is Quantarius Armstrong. And Holder will work out of the gun. And he's back to pass, looks right. Pass is intercepted, and there is a lot of green ahead of A.J. Conte, and A.J. Conte takes it into the end zone. That is a Spartan touchdown. They went on the far side, and Conte anticipated, got in the lane, and went all the way quickly into the end zone, and there was no chance anyone was going to catch A.J. Conte. And we're going to estimate that it was about a 50-yard interception return for A.J. Conte. And a big defensive play there for the Spartans with 9:29 to play. And then all of a sudden, it's quickly 13-0 M State, as Carson McKnight is on to attempt the extra point. McKnight made his previous attempt. Little movement there. Now the flag is going to go down. I think the Spartans probably moved there a bit. Well, we'll see. Sometimes it's not always the offense if they blow the play dead. Yeah, they did call it on the defense. So Vermilion pretty anxious trying to get through on the extra point attempts. Another penalty, offsides. So that'll move it up just a hair for Carson McKnight. And he'll attempt the extra point here, trying to make it 14-0. And it's down, and the kick is right through, no problem for Carson McKnight, who's now 16 of 17 on the year on extra points. And that makes it 14-0, the Spartans with the early lead. So we'll take a timeout, and Carson McKnight will be kicking off when we return. You're listening to M State Spartan Football on Channel 977.
We're joined by Lori Charest, and Lori is the ceramics instructor at M State and a big part of the art program there. She and John Cox run that program. What can you tell me about what the classes would be like?
There's always an element of lecture, demonstration, work on your own. There's a lot of time that you have to work within your studio time with the instructor there. And I think that's another really great thing about our college, that John and I are professionals in our field. There's not graduate assistants. We are the teachers, and so we have a wealth of experience to share with the students.
Lori Charest from the art department at M State in Fergus Falls.
What a quick start for the Spartans. We're 5.5 minutes into the game, and M State already leads 14-0. A 7-yard touchdown reception for Isaac Freitag. Then just a moment ago, a big play by A.J. Conte. A.J., the defensive back, picked off quarterback Miles Holder and ran it back 50 yards for the touchdown. As Carson McKnight kicks it away, it's fielded at the 7-yard line by the Ironhawks, across the 20-25, and tripped up and going down at the 27-yard line is Amon Robinson. And it will be 1st and 10 for Vermilion. They will start this drive at their own 27-yard line. They've ran the ball 3 times for a couple yards. They've completed 1 pass for 7 yards, and then they had the interception that turned into a Spartan touchdown on the previous 3rd down on the previous drive. So Vermilion out on the field. Miles Holder, the quarterback, getting his teammates in place. Quantarius Armstrong, along with John Terrius Turner, out wide left. 2 receivers out right. 1 running back, we think it might be Stephen Womack, flanked to the right of Holder. And they hand it off to Womack. And nothing there. The Spartans converge quickly. Well, now he's staying on his feet. Good job there by Womack. Up to the 30-yard line. It looked like he was going to be buried for a loss, and he ended up picking up 3 on the play. So 2nd and 7 coming up with 9 minutes to play here in the first quarter. Crossing our fingers that we avoid some weather that is possibly in the forecast. A lot of times when you have rain coming in, it's not quite what you think it is, or maybe sidesteps you a little bit. Let's hope for the best, as it's right around that 4:30 range might be the time we might be looking at something. Back to pass. Holder going near side. Pass is incomplete. Tried to get it over to Quantarius Armstrong. And it'll bring up third down and 7. Now a penalty marker just flew after the play.
Number 34, James Bob the second.
Okay, all right.
B-A-U-G-H.
We got an update. It's James Baugh the second is the runner, number 34, the mystery runner. We couldn't track down here, so we'll get that written down here. So Baugh is the carrier with. Thanks, Karen. Yep. Baugh is the carrier with 4 carries for 5 yards so far. And so we'll have that name right as we go along here. And now, not sure what the penalty was. It looked like it was on the Spartans, but from the spot of the foul, it's brought up to the 35-yard line, which makes it 3rd and 3. So it must have happened behind the line of spot of the foul and ends up being 3rd and 3. Now Holder right side, pass incomplete. Tried to fit it in on the far sideline to his wide receiver, Aaron Jowers. But that's incomplete. It'll bring up 4th down and 3 for Vermilion and a punting situation. As punter number 9, Brennan Bondus, will come on the field. Bondus from Southern Minnesota, Casson Manorville High School, freshman. And back deep is Deshaun Carter for the Spartans. He's standing at the M State 33-yard line, ready to receive the punt. Low snap, takes a bounce, and Bondus is able to get it off. It bounces at the 44, and it's down by Vermilion at the 43-yard line, and that's where the Spartans will have it, 1st and 10 from their own 43-yard line. Well, if you're interested in the arts, whether you're considering a career in the arts or you just enjoy music, visual arts, and the theater, we have great opportunities for you on our Fergus Falls campus at M State. The creativity and problem-solving skills you'll develop in our 60-credit fine arts degree programs are an excellent foundation for any career you pursue here at M State in Fergus Falls. 8:24 in the first quarter, all Spartans so far, 14-0. M State with the lead, and the M State offense on the field. Out wide left is Eustace McGowan, Freitag right, and it's Rick Gross slot right. Gregory in the backfield. Cooper takes the snap, hands it off to Gregory, and Ron Darius is met quickly for a loss. He was handed the ball, and he was met, and there was no chance for Ron Darius to go anywhere, and it's going to be a loss of 3 yards. You don't see Ron Darius lose yards too often, but he really didn't have much of a chance as the Ironhawks defense did a great job penetrating the offensive line. It'll bring up 2nd down and 13 for the Spartans. So Freitag will go wide right, and Gross slot right. Griffin off to the right. Now Cooper back to pass under pressure, dumps it off Gregory. Ron Darius trying to break a tackle and doesn't have much. He has a small gain on the play, and I think he got back to the original line of scrimmage. We'll call it a 3-yard gain. Cooper to Gregory. Ron Darius a pair of catches now. He had a 32-yard catch earlier in the game. He's got 2 catches for 35 yards. So 3rd down. And a long 9, we'll just call it 3rd and 10. Ball is marked a hair in front of the original line of scrimmage with 7 minutes to play here in the first quarter. Cooper working out of the gun. Man in motion, they swing it off to the right side. It's Griffin. Tries to get by one man. Now the ball goes loose, and it's picked up by the Ironhawks. And I think they are going to give it, unless they said Griffin was down, but I think they're going to give it to the Ironhawks and say he fumbled it. Yes, they will. Yep, Vermilion gets the football in Spartan territory. So Vermilion gets what they needed. Griffin with a completed pass. And then he lost the football trying to get a little extra yardage. And Vermilion takes advantage, and they'll have good field position, 1st and 10 at the M State 40-yard line. So another completed pass for KJ Cooper. Cooper now 5 for 5 for 64 yards in the game. But Vermilion gets what they needed. They got the takeaway, and they'll have it now, 1st and 10 at the M State 40-yard line. Struggle to move the ball, though, against this against this Spartan defense. And they'll go 2 receivers left, 2 to the right, and Holder out of the shotgun. Holder looks left, little screen pass complete, but not much going to the 40, staying on his feet, but pushed back is the wide receiver. Aaron Jowers on the catch. Jowers' first catch of the game. So only a gain of a yard for Jowers on the play. Couple Spartans in there on the tackle. I think Deshaun Carter was one of those players. 2nd and 9 for Vermilion. 6:15 to play, first quarter. And Holder works out of the gun. James Baugh the second, flanked to his right. 2 receivers out on each side. And here's Holder rolling to his right, looking under pressure. Pass the middle, it's intercepted by M State. Now the Spartans fumble it, but it looks like the Spartans got on top of that. And I think the interception was by Jordan Medrano. 2nd interception of the game already for the Spartans. And Vermilion got prime field position, and they give it away on the interception. Medrano, he fumbled it, but the Spartans were able to get on top of the football. And M State will start their next drive, 1st and 10 from their own 34-yard line with 5:51 to play in the first quarter. Mention again, Spartan volleyball team winning today 3-2 over Century College. I got to see most of it. Dramatic match. It was back and forth. Spartans trailed in all the first 4 sets, and then the 5th set was back and forth, and Spartans were able to finish it off. I want to say it was 15-13 in the 5th set. Just a great battle between 2 very good teams. So 1st and 10 Spartans. Cooper back to pass, in some trouble. Now launches it down the left side. Ball deflected and incomplete. He tried to get it to Isaiah Griffin, but good coverage there by Christian Alexander, the defensive back for Vermilion. So that'll bring up 2nd and 10 now. First incomplete pass, I believe, for KJ Cooper. And the Spartans will have it 2nd and 10, working from their own 34-yard line. Spartans have been airing it out. They have attempted 6 passes and 2 running plays here so far in their offensive plays. Now back to pass, some movement there, almost intercepted. Looked like there was some balls deflected down to the ground, as it was Christian Alexander who might have had a touchdown had he handled that pass. Looked like there was some movement early. I thought maybe the Ironhawks were offsides, but officials seemed to think they maybe gotten back in position. And I don't know if Cooper maybe thought he had a free play or not. But no flags were thrown. It'll be 3rd down and 10. For the Spartans, and see if they can convert on 3rd down. And Cooper out of the gun. 2 receivers right. It's Marquez Hurst slot right. Cooper back to pass, looking across the middle. He wants Hurst. It's complete at the 35. Oh, he lost the football, and it's loose, and Vermilion recovers the ball. And it's a big gainer, but then a fumble and another turnover. As the pass to Hurst, he went down at about the 26-yard line. And it was a gain of about 40 yards to Hurst. And then after he got it, he was trying to keep going. And he fumbled the football. And the Ironhawks got on top of it, and they recover it. So turnovers abound here in the first quarter. Spartans have turned it over twice. And Vermilion has turned it over twice. Vermilion's been intercepted twice. The Spartans have fumbled it away twice. And the Ironhawks will have it. The good news for the Spartans is it was a 40-yard gain preceding that. So I suppose it kind of worked as a punt, but not what M State was looking for after what looked like was going to be a big play. So 1st and 10. Now new quarterback in after a couple interceptions. It's going to be Ben Glowak, the freshman from International Falls, taking the reins at the quarterback spot. He's rolling to his right, working out of the shotgun. He's a lefty, and a tough across-the-body pass is incomplete, goes into the Vermilion sidelines and out of bounds. So an incomplete pass for Glowak. Big week next weekend for the Spartans. They host Nassau Community College out of New York, and quite a unique game for Nassau. They contacted us and wanted to come play with 2 of the top programs in Division III junior college football. And Nassau is the number 2 rated team in the nation. The Spartans currently the number 3 rated team in the nation. And that is the matchup here in Fergus Falls next week. So looking forward to that matchup, as it's now 2nd and 10 here for the Ironhawks. And now there is a whistle here as the play was blown dead. Delay of game is going to be called on Vermilion, so they'll be pushed back 5 yards. 3rd time the Ironhawks have been penalized in the game. They had a couple offsides on extra point attempts previously, so that'll push the ball back to the 17-yard line. And 2nd and 15 for Vermilion. So 2nd down and 15 for Vermilion. They got 2 receivers right, 1 to the left. Glowak is going to work out of the gun. James Baugh off to his right, back to pass. Steps up, now scrambling, trying to get somewhere, and he's going to run and get a couple yards on the play. Spartans quickly converge on Glowak. One of the blue jerseys in there was Danny Disterhalf, the defensive lineman. It'll be a gain of 2 on the run for Ben Glowak. 4:55 to play first quarter. It's M State 14, Vermilion 0. And it's 3rd and 12 coming up for the Ironhawks. They'll go 2 receivers wide left. Those receivers are Quantarius Armstrong and Aaron Jowers. 2 receivers right. Glowak out of the shotgun here once again. Lefty freshman quarterback. He is back to pass, looking left, steps up in the pocket, in some trouble, and he's wrapped up and brought down. The sack is made there by Danny Disterhalf. So he made the tackle on the previous play and sack there, but there's a flag down on the field, way down in the secondary. Looked like there's some extracurricular activity going on. So Disterhalf with the sack, but we'll see if any penalties are gonna, or who the penalties are gonna cause issues to. And it is a unsportsmanlike conduct on Vermilion. And it looks like it was on Aaron Jowers, the wide receiver. Something going on after the play down the field. And that is going to push the Ironhawks back half the distance of the goal. It'll move them down to the 6-yard line. So that'll put punter Brennan Bondas way back to the back of the end zone, in a precarious situation for Vermilion and punter. And their snaps haven't been great. They've been a little bit low, a little bit high. We'll see if they can execute. Deshaun Carter standing at the Vermilion 36-yard line to receive. So unless something unforeseen happens, the Spartans at the very least are going to have great field position here. Vermilion just hoping to get this punt off with very little room in the back of the end zone. So 4 minutes to play first quarter. It's 4th and a country mile for Vermilion, with Bondas in the back of the end zone. The snap a little bit low and almost blocked, but he just gets it off. Good job by Bondas to get it off. It lands at the 32. It takes a Spartan bounce and rolls up to about the 27-yard line, maybe the 26-yard line. In great field position here for M State. 1st and 10 from the Vermilion 26-yard line. Oh, there are some flags on the, there's some flags in the back of the end zone, actually. I don't know, did the Spartans run into the punter, or was there, let's see what we got here. Okay, it's going to be running into the kicker, which is not roughing the kicker. It's running into the kicker, meaning it's only a 5-yard penalty. And Vermilion, rather than, I'd almost, even though they, it would have been the Spartan ball at the 26, they are going to take the penalty and re-kick it, or re-punt it. But Bondas is still in the end zone, so maybe a little bit of a risky move to attempt it again, as the Spartans have been close to getting the block, but they're going to give it a shot and see if they can push the Spartans back farther than what they would have been at the 26-yard line. Bondas, now there's the high snap, and just like what we thought, it goes over his head and into the end zone. And I thought it was going to be a pretty risky move to attempt it again, and it did not pay off. It'll be a safety as the ball goes right over Bondas' head through the end zone. And with 3:51 to play in the first quarter, that's a safety, as the snap went right over the head of Bondas, and the Spartans will lead it now 16-0. So we'll have a kickoff here coming up with Vermilion in just a moment. So we'll take a quick break. You're listening to Spartan Football right here on Channel 977.
Laura Quaintance is in studio with us. Laura is the choral director at M State in Fergus Falls. Not everybody that's in your music program is going to make a career out of music, right?
Exactly. They don't have to at all. We have students who love to be a part of the department as music makers. We have students that intend to make a profession out of it, and so they get to choose. There are students that decide to take our music theory courses and our survey courses thinking they may become a music major. They also can take all their generals in addition to it, so they're safe either way. And so it's a win-win for students that are interested in music, but we have a variety every semester, and that's the beauty of the community college liberal arts opportunities.
Laura Quaintance, she is the choral director at M State in Fergus Falls.
16-0 M State. The they're going to use the free kick option, and it goes over the head of Conte, and AJ's able to pick it up, and he's brought down where the Spartans will have the ball first and 10. They decided to go with a free kick, and it was a really high kick, took a big bounce before Conte was able to pick it up. There's another flag on the field. There have been a lot of them here so far. The flag rests at the Vermilion 41-yard line. Yeah, there have been 7 penalties so far in the game, 4 on Vermilion, 3 on the Spartans. And it looks like we might have we're going to have a re-kick. Yep, it is going to be a re-kick. See if we're trying to listen in to see if we can get an official word on what the call or ruling was. So everything we're hearing, it sounds like a re-kick, but officials are having a discussion, talking things over. Mention athletics on campus here at M State include volleyball, had a big win earlier today, we've mentioned a few times. Spartan football team, Spartan golf. It's going to be unsportsmanlike conduct on both M State and Vermilion, so offsetting penalties, and that'll be a re-kick, and that'll be a good outcome for the Spartans as they were pushed back farther than you would have thought after kind of a strange bounce, and Conte got pushed back there a little bit. But the athletics at M State, we mentioned women's volleyball, football, the Spartan golf team, their primary schedule in the fall, and our team has the Spartan Invite. They're hosting at Pebble Lake Golf Course tomorrow at noon, and Monday morning at 9 they'll be teeing off. And then in the winter, men's and women's basketball. In the spring, it's baseball, softball, and then our golf teams get back out there weather permitting in April. So all the opportunities for athletics, championship tradition. Had the volleyball team last year finishing 3rd nationally. Spartan golf team top 5 nationally for many years running, and the Spartan football team currently rated number 3 in the nation and got to the MCAC championship game a year ago before that game had to be unfortunately canceled due to COVID considerations. Okay, so we're ready to re-kick it. Free kick, a high. He goes for the freestyle high kick. It goes to Conte across the 40, 45, 50. There goes AJ Conte across the 40. And he gets out of bounds at the 35-yard line, a return probably in the neighborhood of 35 yards. And that was a costly offsetting penalty for Vermilion. It ended up getting the Spartans about 40 more yards because they were going to be probably down near back the 26-yard line the way the previous kick ended. But Conte with a great return of about 35 yards, and the Spartans have it now, leading 16-0 with it 1st and 10 at the Vermilion 35-yard line. KJ Cooper out of the gun, flanked to his right is Jacob Dreitz. Gregory in the backfield right behind him, and they'll hand it off to Rondarius Gregory across the 35-30, almost gets the first down, going to be just a hair shy, maybe 2 yards shy. But Rondarius is going to bring up a 2nd and short here after a gain of about 8 yards here on the play. So 2nd down and 2 coming up for the Spartans with 3:10 to play in the first quarter. Gregory 3 carries for 10 yards in the game. He also has a pair of catches for 35 yards. It's McGowan wide left. Freitag wide right. And handoff comes to Gregory. Rondarius has the first down, but not too much more, across the 25 to about the 24-yard line. He needed 2 for the first down. He got 3. That'll move the chains. And 2 minutes, 40 seconds to play first quarter. 1st and 10 Spartans at the Vermilion 24-yard line. Touchdown so far in the game. The scoring has been Isaac Freitag, a 7-yard touchdown reception. AJ Conte, a 50-yard interception return. And then the Spartans got a safety as the Vermilion punt attempt was snapped through the end zone. Gregory, the handoff, across the 20, cuts back left to the 10, trying to stay on his feet. He's tripped up and brought down, but he's all the way down to the 8, maybe the 7-yard line. Tackle made there by the free safety, Casey Chavalier. But that'll be at the 8-yard line. And a gain of 16 yards on the play for Rondarius Gregory. And they may just keep handing the ball to their bell cow here. Gregory with 1:40 to play first quarter. He gets it again up the middle, cuts to his right around to the 5-yard line, picks up 3 yards. So to bring up second down and goal as the ball is down to the 5-yard line with a minute 20 to go. So the clock continues to run here. Spartan's been running the ball here on this possession, and they've shown the ability to run the football. And KJ Cooper's really had a nice start to the year throwing the ball with 9 touchdown passes to only 3 interceptions. 2 receivers out to each side. Gregory in the backfield. Cooper, he's going to pass this time. Looking left, the pass is a little bit low as he tried to get it to his wide receiver, Isaiah Griffin. That is incomplete. So 3rd and goal now coming up. Cooper is now 6 for 9 for 104 yards in the game. So 3rd and goal for M State at the Vermilion 5-yard line. Trying to increase their lead here before the first quarter comes to an end. 52 seconds to go. Now Gregory is going to go slot right along with Gross, the tight end. And Cooper back to pass. Looking, fakes a pass. Now he's going to run with it. Cooper bangs his way up against one man and goes into the end zone. Cooper gave some punishment to Vermilion trying to attempt to tackle him. The big quarterback, 235-pound, 6'5" quarterback, barrels his way into the end zone. An impressive run for Cooper. That's a 5-yard touchdown run for KJ Cooper, and the Spartans now lead at 22-0 with 44 seconds to go here in the first quarter. And that'll bring Carson McKnight onto the field. Holding for M State will be Jesse Stills, as McKnight looking to go 3 for 3 on the day for extra points. And snap is down, the kick is up, it's good. 23-0 is the score as Carson McKnight's extra point is good. All Spartans here in the first quarter. M State 23, Vermilion nothing. We're going to take a timeout. We'll be back with the ensuing kickoff right after this.
Lauren Proles, she is the Assistant Director of Campus Life and Housing at M State in Fergus Falls. From everything I've heard from students who went to M State, the campus life is awesome. It's not just go to your class, go to your homework, repeat the next day. I mean, there's a lot going on at M State in Fergus Falls.
Yeah, and that kind of adds to that whole picture of the holistic student and really kind of developing some of those areas that you may not get in the classroom or at work.
A lot of students tell me, I wish it was a 4-year school because they have so much fun in the 2 years.
Yeah, it's hard to leave. It's hard to say goodbye as a student and to see your students go too, but you're always going on to bigger and better things.
Lauren Proles, she is the Assistant Director of Campus Life and Housing at M State in Fergus Falls.
23-0, Spartans big lead, 44 seconds to go first quarter. And we mentioned the Spartans heavy favorites coming into this game. The Iron Hawks really struggled in their first game of the year. They've only played 1 game. Spartans have played 3. And M State, number 3 in the nation. Vermilion doesn't have a sophomore on their roster. And it's kind of worked out that way so far here in the early going. Now on the return after the McKnight's kick and bringing it up across the 25 near the 30-yard line. I believe it was John Terrius Turner. And it'll be 1st and 10 for Vermilion here. And I thought I might have seen a flag get thrown. Oh, going to be a sideline warning on the Spartans, and I think what happens is a lot of times on the kick, if the sideline has people, they kind of tend to move forward across that sideline and get in the official's way. They need to make sure they steer clear so they get a warning, and then if it happens again, they'd be penalized. So Spartan sideline warned to just make that sideline clear as the officials are running up and down, and that's a good rule to have in there. Easy way for injuries. Don't want officials to get hurt, and so Spartans got to keep an eye on that here. But Vermilion has it 1st and 10, and they'll start at their own 30-yard line. The quarterback, it started out with Miles Holder, but he threw a couple interceptions, and now it's Ben Glowak. Glowak has only thrown one pass today, an incomplete pass, and he's back to pass, rolling to his left. And he tries to dump it off. It's picked off. Here's the interception, 25-20, 15-10, on his feet, and staying on his feet and into the end zone is Deshaun Carter, as the Ironhawks continue to be plagued with the interception. That is 2 pick sixes, but there is a penalty marker again, and the penalties, man, are piling up for both teams here. And it's going to be an unsportsmanlike conduct, probably excessive celebration. Excessive celebration. Yeah, excessive celebration, I think, or something on the Spartans. Coach Miller is not pleased with his team, saying, "Hey, gotta keep that celebration in control after the big play." And it was a great play made by Deshaun Carter, and I'm going to estimate that it was probably about a 27-yard interception return for a touchdown, but the Spartans penalized, and that'll be a 15-yard penalty on the extra point. That'll move the ball back to the 17-yard line, and Spartans will still attempt the extra point, but a timeout is called here by Vermilion, and we'll just keep it right here with 26 seconds to go. Spartans lead 29-0. So it was Deshaun Carter. Great job jumping the pass, anticipating the pass from Ben Glowak, and then was able to get through the traffic, stay on his feet just enough at the end to get the 27-yard interception return. So 29-0, and then had a flag, as the Spartans have now been penalized 4 times. Both teams penalized 4 times in the first quarter. Too many penalties here. Spartans penalized 4 times for a total of 35 yards. So the extra point is going to be 15 yards longer. The good news for the Spartans, they got Carson McKnight. He can handle that. Just makes it a little tougher. And the holder will be Jesse Stills, coming out of the timeout called by Vermilion. So this extra point attempt will be a 35-yard extra point attempt for Carson McKnight. Stills ready to hold. There's the snap, handled. The kick is up, and it is, I think it was wide left. No, it hooked wide left. So the penalty cost the Spartans a point there, as that certainly would have been good from straight on 15 yards closer, but it did hook just enough to the left. Extra point, no good. And our score, with 26 seconds remaining here in the first quarter, Spartans lead at 29-0. And we'll take a quick timeout. We'll be back with more Spartan football in just a moment.
Stephanie Gerhardson is with us, the director of the theater at M State in Fergus Falls. And a lot of times when we think of the theater, we think of what we see on the stage, but there's so much behind the scenes work there with the stage crew and the props and all of that. And that's something I think some of your students may come in not realizing how much they're going to learn about that part of the business.
Absolutely. And I will oftentimes have students come in thinking, well, I'm going to be in these plays and I'm going to be an actor, or I want to be on the front side of the house. And then, we have these practicums that they take so that when they are doing tech for a play, let's say they're being the stage manager, doing the props, or running the lights, or running the sound, they can receive credit for doing that because it's a learning experience and there's curriculum and things like that. But then they kind of say, hey, I kind of like this backstage stuff. So I have quite a few students come in thinking they're going to do acting and really have much more aptitude and interest in some of the technical elements.
Steph Gerhardsen from the College Theater Department at M-State.
On the return, the Ironhawks fumbled the ball as they were receiving, but picking it back up is Amon Robinson, but he didn't have much after he picked it up, after he spent time trying to track down the ball after it went off his hands, off of Carson McKnight's kick. And when it's all said and done, it'll be 1st and 10 for Vermilion as they will start it off on their own. Looks like the 19-yard line it's going to be. 1st and 10 at the 19. 18 seconds remain here in the first quarter. Spartans lead at 29-0. Yep, it'll be the 19-yard line. See the Ironhawks struggled with taking care of the ball. Both teams have struggled taking care of the ball. Spartans have fumbled it twice, recovered by Vermilion, but the Ironhawks have thrown 3 interceptions, and 2 of them pick 6 touchdowns, one for A.J. Conte and the other for Deshaun Carter. And Ben Glowak trotting onto the field here, the quarterback. Glowak was intercepted for the last one. It was Miles Holder who was picked the first 2. Now the handoff going up the middle, met and pushed back very quickly for no gain at the best. And that was a running back, James Baugh, the second. No gain on the play. Baugh with 5 carries for 6 yards in the game, and that'll be the final play of the first quarter. So that'll do it for our first quarter of play. All M-State here, and it's 29-0. The Spartans lead it here, so we'll take a timeout, and we'll be back with second quarter action right here from the M-State Fergus Falls campus. This is Spartan Football on Channel 977.
Lauren Proles, she is the Assistant Director of Campus Life and Housing at M-State in Fergus Falls. So in your position, how much, and maybe you're still trying to figure this out too, but how much are you going to be relying on the students to have input and to come up with ideas and to spearhead some project that you had a hand in developing?
I mean, I think we rely very heavily on that because at the end of the day, we want our programming and our clubs and organizations to be something that the students are interested in. And that changes, you know, as the students change. So, I mean, that's always something that we want input from students on.
Lauren Proles, she is the Assistant Director of Campus Life and Housing at M-State in Fergus Falls.
Back here at M-State, hoping for the best with the weather. It was beautiful as we opened up the game, and it's still hanging in there, maybe a little bit cloudier here as the game has gone on. The forecast earlier thought that 4:30 might be the range where we could see some action. We're just hoping to avoid some of the electricity so the game can continue to be played. But 1st and 10 here for Vermilion, and Holder's back in the game at the quarterback spot, and there's a handoff, and the Spartans push back on the Ironhawks quickly, and probably another no gain on the play. Now Holder's coming out and Glowak is back in. Actually, it's going to be a gain of a yard on the play. I believe it was Baugh once again. And it'll be 3rd down and 9 for Vermilion. They have it at their own 20-yard line. So Holder came back in for a moment to hand the ball off, and then now Glowak is back in. So the Ironhawks going with a couple different quarterbacks trying to find something that works. They've struggled throwing the football. They've thrown more interceptions than completion so far. Now here's running the football. It's Baugh again. He gets up to the 25, picks up about 5 yards on the play, and that'll bring up 4th down and about 4 yards to go. That's the longest run of the game for Vermilion, a 5-yard run for Baugh. So 4th down and 4. Ironhawks have it at their own 25-yard line, and the punting unit coming on the field with Brennan Bondus. Last time Bondus was on the field to punt, he was at the back of the end zone, and the ball sailed right over, the snap sailed right over his head. out through the end zone for a safety. And he is ready to go. Bondus is standing at his own 10-yard line this time. And there's the snap. He's able to get it away. This one's not as good of a punt. And it bounces at the Vermilion 42 and ricochets out of bounds. Spartans will have great field position. They'll start 1st and 10 at the Vermilion 42-yard line. So Spartans just overmatching the Ironhawks here in this game and in every facet. And think if you're Coach Miller, I'm guessing you're in a situation you want to get reps and work on execution and continue to get better, and limit penalties and some of those things, and also stay injury-free as well is a key. And the Spartans seem to be pretty good injury-wise coming into this game and hope to stay that way. They have a big lead here as Cooper's back to pass on 1st down. Steps up in the pocket looking. Now he shovels it off and he finds his man to the 35 up to the 32. Some great creativity there. Now the ball was fumbled, and it looks like Vermilion has it. At the end of the play, the ball was fumbled, so the shovel pass was completed to Champion Chromes, but he fumbled it at the end of the play, and Vermilion gets the ball back, and they'll have it at the 32-yard line. So it was a gain of 9 yards on the pass completion from Cooper to Chromes, but then Chromes fumbled it. The third takeaway that Vermilion has had from M-State on a fumble. So both teams with 3 turnovers. They have different methods of turning it over. The Ironhawks throwing interceptions, and the Spartans have now fumbled it 3 times. So Vermilion gets the ball back, trailing M-State 29-0, 12:55, second quarter. 1st and 10, Ironhawks at their own 31-yard line. It is Holder back out on the field now, and he's working out of the gun. Steps back, looks to his receiver near side, complete at the 35-yard line, and pulling the defender out of bounds is Avion Williams. Theoforia with the tackle, and it was a completion of 6 yards for number 87, Avion Williams. Holder now 3 for 6 throwing the ball for 14 yards. He does have the 2 interceptions. And 2nd down and 4 for Vermilion with the ball at their own 37-yard line. Now it's Glowak again. They're going back and forth with the quarterbacks here. Glowak hands it off. It's Baugh getting outside across the 40, 42-yard line, and he is drilled going out of bounds, but it's a 1st down run for Baugh. Foria with the tackle again. And also Marcus Serrano knocking him out of bounds, but it is a 1st down run for Vermilion up to the 44-yard line, of gain of 7 yards for Baugh. And 1st down coming up. Mentioned big game next week. Spartans host the number 2 team in the nation, Nassau Community College out of New York, and what a unique game and opportunity to have someone come across the country to play. Spartans number 3 in the nation right now in Division III junior college football. Nassau number 2, and both teams hoping to be undefeated going into that matchup next week. Now the snap is fumbled by Holder, and he goes down to his knees to pick it up and secure it, but it'll be a loss on the play. It'll end up being a 5-yard loss, and that'll push the Ironhawks back 5 yards. It'll be 2nd down and 15. So the scoring all in the first quarter. Isaac Freitag, 7-yard touchdown reception. A.J. Conte, a 50-yard interception return. And the Spartans got the safety when Vermilion snapped the ball through the end zone. And then a K.J. Cooper 5-yard touchdown run and a Deshaun Carter 27-yard interception return. All the points here that happened in the first quarter. It's 10.5 minutes to go second quarter. Spartans lead at 29-0. 2nd and 15. Glowak hands it off. Baugh has nothing going. It's going to be a loss, as quickly tracking him down was Theo Fourier. And now a penalty marker comes down at the end of the play. I think it might have been on the Iron Hawks. Again, a little extracurricular, but I could be wrong. We'll see. In any event, it was a loss of 5 yards on the run for Baugh. Oh, it's going to be an illegal block in the back on Vermilion. And they're still talking it over here. Yep. So it's a block in the back on Vermilion, and that's a 10-yard penalty. So that will be marked off after the loss. So they're going to mark it off from the 34-yard line. It's going to be second, and it's going to be a long ways here for a first down. It's going to go all the way back to the 24-yard line. They need to get to the 44-yard line. I'm sorry, they need to get to the 46-yard line of Spartan territory for a first down. So it's second and 30 right now is where we're at. Second and 30 for Vermilion, as Holder will work out of the gun. Hands it off to Baugh, trying to get outside left. Tripped up. It's going to be a short gain near the far sideline. Good tackle there made by the Spartans. I think it was Joey DeMarco, the defensive back, made the play. We'll give Baugh 3 yards on the play. 10 carries, 17 yards in the game for James Baugh the second. 3rd and 27 now for Vermilion. 9.5 minutes to play, second quarter. And Vermilion taking their time, and it's interesting to see they go back and forth with the quarterbacks, Holder and Glowak. This time it's going to be Glowak, and I'm not sure if they're coaching up each quarterback a little bit, coming off the sideline after getting a play or two, but they're going back and forth, and wonder about the ability to get in a rhythm sometimes, but maybe it's an opportunity to teach. But Glowak will work out of the shotgun. 2 receivers right, 1 to the left. 3rd and very, 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 very long here for Vermilion. And they're going to hand it off to Baugh, and he's bounces off 1 defender, but 2 and 3 blue jerseys wrap him up for hardly any gain on the play. One of the defenders there was Jeffrey Toloa, defensive lineman for M State. And that ends up being a loss of 2 on the play for Baugh. So 4th and about 29 yards to go, so it'll be a punting situation for Brennan Bondus and Vermilion. Back deep to receive for M State is Joey DeMarco. He's standing just in front of midfield. There's a line drive kick, a good punt. Goes over DeMarco's head. He fields it at the 30, and he's wrapped up and brought back. Good special teams play there by Vermilion. Give Bondus credit for a great punt that was a low spiraling punt that went over DeMarco's head. And once he tracked it down after backtracking, right there to make the tackle was Aaron Jowers, special teams. And Spartans will end up being a lot farther back than they thought they might have. It'll be 1st and 10 from their own 27-yard line. 8 minutes to go here, second quarter. Here comes KJ Cooper. What an impressive touchdown run he had, and scrambling looking for a receiver, and decided he had to take off and go. And it was him versus a Vermilion defender, and he dealt a pretty good blow to that defender while going into the end zone. Rondarius Gregory, or is it Gregory, or who is it? I don't think, maybe it's not Rondarius. I think it's Champion Chromes on the carry. And Chromes, short gain as he gets it up to the 28-yard line, a 1-yard run for Champion Chromes, his first carry of the game. He actually had a reception for M State on their last play of the previous drive, ended up fumbling. Spartans have fumbled away three possessions in this game, while Vermilion has turned it over with 3 interceptions in this one. So 2nd down and 9 for the Spartans. Cooper out of the gun, hands it off to Cromes, and he's met and wrapped up and brought down quickly for a loss. Great play there by the John Dash for Vermilion. Quickly getting into the backfield, and Cromes didn't have much of a chance. So that ended up being a loss of 4 on the play, and it'll be 3rd and 13 for M State. 6:50 to play, second quarter. And Cooper will work out of the gun. Coming out wide left will be Eustace McGowan. 3 receivers right, and Cromes in the backfield. Cooper takes the snap, back to pass, looking left, launches it down the left sideline. He wants McGowan. It is complete. No, it's incomplete. Man, it looked like an unbelievable catch there for a moment for Eustace McGowan, and by the Spartan bench reaction, I thought he caught it, but it is incomplete. Must have touched the ground. Man, it was great coverage by the Ironhawks, too. Oh, I thought we had one of the plays of the year there on our hands, but not quite. So that'll bring up 4th and 13, and the Spartans in a punting situation. Carson McKnight on the field to punt it away with 6:23 to play here in the second quarter. So McKnight ready to punt it, standing at his own 10-yard line. And ready to receive for Vermilion is Cartel Lamb back at his own 40, and there's a timeout here called by the Ironhawks. So we'll take a timeout. 6:23 to play, second quarter. Spartans lead at 29-0. We'll be back with more M State Spartan football after this.
Jeff Sands is a member of the music faculty at M State. As far as your role as an instructor goes, you're doing classroom instruction and individual lessons. Just give us a little idea of the variety of things that you're emphasizing.
I kind of break our program down almost into kind of 2 little areas. One of them which was geared towards music majors, so that would be like the music theory courses. So we have a 4-course sequence that the students have to take. I teach those courses, but then I also teach courses which we call our survey courses, which are geared really towards anybody on campus that is interested in those topics. They might cover specific goal areas that they need to meet for their liberal education. That's kind of most of what I do. I also do, again, have individual lessons too, which are instrumental. I'm more of like the instrumental side of things when it comes to the courses here.
Jeff Sands from M State in Fergus Falls.
On the punt by McKnight is deflected on the receiving end. It's on the ground, and the Spartans have recovered the football. So yet another turnover. This is the 7th turnover of the game. It's the first time that Vermilion has lost one, their 4th turnover of the game on a fumble. And M State will take over 1st and 10 at the Vermilion 47-yard line. So both coaches can't be happy with the turnover results so far. 4 for Vermilion, 3 for M State, and Spartans will have it. They're actually going to mark it at the 46-yard line with 6:13 to play, second quarter. Spartans lead big though, 29-0. 2 of those turnovers we mentioned have gone directly to touchdowns. Pick 6 for the Spartans. AJ Conte with 1, Deshaun Carter with 1. As on 1st and 10, Cooper back to throw, swings it over to the right side. Pass complete on the far sideline for a smallish gain. And it looks like a 5-yard gain as Isaac Freitag with the reception. Isaac now 3 receptions for 34 yards, and he had the first score of the game, a 7-yard touchdown reception in the first quarter. So it's actually going to be about a 4-yard gain. We'll call it 2nd and 6. Cooper out of the gun again. And it's Gregory in the backfield. Freitag in motion. Back to pass Cooper. Under pressure. In a little trouble. And he's brought down as the Ironhawks get to Cooper. Thought he had enough time to get it off. Coming with the pressure was Amar Williams for Vermilion. And that'll be a big loss for the Spartans. That's going to be a loss. Man, he dropped well back. That's going to be about a 15-yard loss all the way back to the 42-yard line of M State. So it's going to be 3rd down and 22 for the Spartans at their own 42-yard line. Under 5 minutes to play, second quarter. No one in the backfield. Cooper out of the gun. He is back to pass. Straight back. He's got time. Now he's rolling out left. Swings the pass over, incomplete. Tried to get it to Gregory right by the Spartan sideline, and it's incomplete. So 4th and long coming up, and a punting situation here for M State. Cooper's now 8 for 13 in the game for 117 yards and a touchdown pass. He's also run for a touchdown. Spartans up 29-0. All those points came in the first quarter. 4 different touchdowns and a safety. And Carson McKnight ready to punt it. Back deep for Vermilion is Cartel Lamb standing at his own 27-yard line. McKnight with the punt roams over to his right, lets it go. It's a good high punt, and Lamb fields it, fair catch at the 19-yard line. And Vermilion will have it 1st down and 10 with 4 minutes, 32 seconds remaining in the second quarter. Well, M State does not charge an application fee. They no longer charge an application fee, and with that, M State has removed a potential barrier to higher education for prospective students and encouraging more people to advance their education. Save a little money. No more is there an application fee when signing up and looking into attending classes at M State in Fergus Falls, all the M State campuses as well. 4.5 minutes to go, second quarter. 1st and 10 for Vermilion. They trail the Spartans 29-0. It is Holder this time, roaming right and coming in and bringing him down with the sack. That is Jihad Burrows. And Holder is getting up slowly. It's going to be a loss of about 11 yards on the play. So it'll be 2nd down and 21. 2nd down and 21, and we mentioned Holder coming up a little bit slow. That's the 2nd sack of the game for the Spartans. Danny Disterhalf had one earlier, and this time it's Jihad Burrows. So 2nd and long as Holder, good to see he's jogging off the field on his own power. That'll bring Ben Glowak back into the game at the quarterback spot. They're used to running in and out. They've been doing that a lot here in this game, Glowak and Holder. We'll see if Glowak gets an extended look with Holder coming off a little bit gingerly off the field there. As Jihad Burrows came back and wrapped him up for a big loss, 11-yard loss on that sack. So 2nd down and 21. Vermilion with the ball at their own 10-yard line. Glowak will work out of the shotgun. Wide left for Vermilion is Donnelly McCondo. And in motion, moving left is Avion Williams. He'll go slot left now. And Glowak out of the shotgun. He's rolling to his left. Finds his receiver for a short gain to the far sideline. The pass is complete to Avion Williams. Looks like a gain of 4 on the play. First completed pass for Ben Glowak. 2nd catch of the game for Williams. And there is a whistle here. It looks like, we got a injury, but good to see popping up on his feet is Sam Tagg, the Spartan linebacker. And he's going to move over to the off the sideline and get attention from Spartan trainer Justin Rowe off the far sideline. So it'll be 3rd down and 17 now for Vermilion. So hopefully Sam Tagg is all right over there, getting some treatment. Looks like he's getting the stretching with the a lot of times they cramp up, and looks like that's what he's getting over there. Rolling right on 3rd down. Holder back in the game. Pass deflected, incomplete. Getting his hand on the ball was Jordan Medrano, incomplete. And he'll bring up 4th and long. So Holder wasn't injured too badly there, as he was back pretty quickly after coming off the field after that sack on first down. So 4th down and 17. And now punter Brennan Bondas back onto the field. He is standing just in the end zone. Ready to receive for M State is Deshaun Carter, standing at the Vermilion 42-yard line. And the snap is low, bounces. Bondas is able to get it and barely get it off. Vermilion fortunate again. And the high punt lands at the 38 of Vermilion and hops back to and goes out of bounds at about the 41-yard line. I think Bondas has had a nice game. He hasn't been helped by the snaps and is able to get some kicks off under duress. And Spartans will have good field position, though. They'll start 1st and 10. They'll mark it at the 42-yard line. 2:46 to play in the first half. Spartans lead at 29-0. They had all those points scored in the first quarter. See if they'll tack on any more here before the half. So 1st and 10 at the Vermilion 42. Griffin slot left and Freitag wide left. Cooper out of the gun, back to pass across the middle. Griffin, pass complete. 35 tripped up at the 32. That'll be a gain of about 8 or 9 yards. Tackle made there by the Ironhawks' Casey Chavalier.
First down.
And it was enough for a first down, so he did just get enough. So it'll be a 10-yard gain. Griffin's second catch of the game. His first catch was for no gain. And that was a 10-yard gain. So 1st and 10 at the 31-yard line for the Spartans at the Vermilion 31. 2 minutes, 15 seconds to play. First half, Cooper back to pass, looking across the middle. His man, it's incomplete. He tried to find Eustace McGowan across the middle. Pass was high. Coverage was good by the Ironhawks. And it'll bring up 2nd down and 10. Cooper 9 of 15 for 127 yards in the game right now. And 2nd and 10. Coming into the game, Cooper had completed 56% of his passes, averaging 232 passing yards per game. He's on that pace again. He's completed 60% of them today for 127 yards here in the first half. He's working out of the shotgun again on 2nd and 10 with 2:10 to go in the half. Back to throw, left side. McGowan is open. Oh, he couldn't handle it, though. He leaped up to catch it. I thought he had it, and then when he came down, the ball was jarred out of his hands. Incomplete. Coverage there from Casey Chavalier. So 3rd and 10 now as 5 more seconds tick off the clock. 2:05 to play in the half. Halftime interview, it's going to be a strange transition. We'll have a recorded interview with me. Craig Olson interviewed me yesterday to talk about Spartan Golf, as I coach the Spartan Golf team, and we have our Spartan Golf Invitational Sunday and Monday, so that'll be coming up here at halftime. Across the middle, pass to Cooper. Incomplete, a little bit high for Gross off his hands. Penalty marker goes down at the end of the play. So it was incomplete, and it's going to be a holding penalty. It's going to be a hold on the Spartans. So, I think if you're Vermilion, you maybe just decline it, not let the Spartans have another chance at it, and that's what they're going to do. They are going to decline the penalty rather than have it be 3rd and 20, put the Spartans in a punting situation, or even a field goal situation. I forget who's kicking. It's Carson McKnight. I bet they're going to try this field goal. Yeah, he's got the leg for it. Yep, the field goal unit is on the field, and it will be a 48-yard attempt for Carson McKnight. And the wind today, there's no wind really right now. It would be, based on where it was before, at his back. So McKnight, the 48-yard attempt. Snap is down. The kick is up. Has it got enough juice on it? Oh, man, I think it's just maybe short, just a little right. So the field goal attempt is no good. Spartans went for the 48-yarder, couldn't quite get it to go. So Vermilion will take over on downs. It's just fun to have a kicker that you have a a good legit chance of converting on some of those. But couldn't quite put that one through. So Vermilion will have it 1st and 10 from their own 31-yard line. 1:55 to play in the second quarter. Spartan volleyball team, big win today. Awesome match. Went to 5 sets. I couldn't remember. I think it was 15-13 in the 5th set. They won it. A dramatic game that the Spartans trailed in all 4 sets, and were able to pull it out. Century College really is a nice program. They qualified for the region tournament a year ago. So on 1st down, met quickly and dropped for a loss as the snap went right to Quantarius Armstrong. And it'll be a loss of a yard. Number 4, Quantarius Armstrong. I missed who made the tackle there by the Spartans, but it was a good big hit. So 2nd and 11. Clock continues to tick with 1:23 to play, second quarter. Ironhawks with the ball, 2nd and 11. Ball just shy of their own 30-yard line. So now it is Holder working out of the gun. Holder back to pass, looks left, gets it to, tries to get it complete on the far sideline. It's incomplete, intended for Donnelly Macondo. Holder now 3 of 8 for 14 yards in the game. Now with 59 seconds to go, the clock stops with it being 3rd and 11. Going out wide left for Vermilion on 3rd and 11 is Avion Williams. Oh, he's actually going to settle in slot left. They got 2 receivers out to the left side, and Holder working out of the shotgun. Holder now ranging left, looking. Pass is incomplete. Tried to get it to Williams off his hands. And it'll bring up 4th down and 11. And that will bring Brennan Bondus back out onto the field to punt it away for Vermilion. 54 seconds to play here, second quarter. Bondus has had a busy day here punting. He's had a number of punts. I think he's done a pretty nice job for Vermilion under a lot of pressure with some snaps that haven't been ideal. Spartans have almost blocked numerous punts, and they actually got a safety on a snap that went over his head through the end zone. And back deep for M State, standing at his own 38-yard line, is Deshaun Carter. Bondus gets it off. Good high punt. Takes a bounce at the 42. Takes a Vermilion bounce. Is rolling all the way inside the 30 to the 26. That's a very nice punt. A 45-yard punt for Bondus. And 44 seconds to go here in the second quarter. And M State will have it 1st down and 10. It'll be at the 27-yard line where M State will take over. Freshman quarterback KJ Cooper trots onto the field. So Cooper will work out of the gun. Spartans with 2 receivers left. It is Rondarius Gregory in the backfield, 2 receivers right. Cooper looks right. Pass goes far sideline, off the hands, and incomplete, intended for Isaac Freitag.
Just off the hands of Freitag. 2nd down, Spartans.
So 2nd down and 10 coming up for M State with 40 seconds to go in the half. They have it 2nd and 10 at their own 27-yard line. Cooper 9 of 17 throwing the ball for 127 yards unofficially here in the first half. Griffin and McGowan out left. 2 receivers to the right. Gregory in the backfield. Here's Cooper back to throw. Looking left side. That pass is a little bit high. Man was open but couldn't quite put it on the money there for McGowan. Incomplete into the Spartan sideline. And that'll bring up
3rd and 10 for your Spartans.
3rd down and 10 with 36 seconds to play here in the half. So Cooper, after being pretty efficient early on, Cooper completed his first 5 passes. He's now had incompletions the last 4. And he will work out of the gun again. Gregory in the backfield. 2 receivers to each side. And Cooper back to throw. Steps up in the pocket now on the move. Wrapped up, and he's going to be brought down for a sack back by the 17-yard line. A couple of Ironhawks on the field. The ball was jarred loose, but the officials are saying he was down. I think, there are a couple Ironhawks in the tackle. I think one of them, I don't know. I saw number 44, and of course there are a few numbers not on the roster, and there's one of them. But a really good defensive play there by the Ironhawks on 3rd down. That ends up being a loss of 7 yards on the sack. And it will end up being the final play of the first half as the clock runs out. And a very successful first half for the Spartans as they are in total control. 29-0 is the score here at the half. So we're going to take a break here during halftime, and hopefully the weather hangs on here. It's getting a little cloudier, but hopefully the weather will, any weather that might be on the forecast avoids us. But we're going to take a break here at halftime, and we have a recorded interview. I'm going to be talking golf with Craig Olson, Spartan golf team. Have our home invitational tomorrow and Monday. Talk about what we've done here leading up to our Spartan Invitational coming up tomorrow. So we're going to have that recorded interview, and then after that interview comes back, we'll have the second half here from the campus of M State in Fergus Falls. The Spartan football team leads 29-0 over Vermilion at the half. And here we'll go to Craig Olson with this interview.
Jason Retzloff has changed his hats now. He is no longer the sports broadcaster, at least for the next 10 or 12 minutes. He now has his golf hat on. Head coach of the Spartan golf team joining us at halftime of the Spartan football game. And the season's rolling. You've got such a great tradition that has been built here in Spartan golf. And the thing about a 2-year program, Jace, is every 2 years you see new faces. Every year you see new faces. But you've had quite an upheaval here in members of the team this year from your last year's team. So can you start by just kind of introducing us to members of the golf team?
Yeah, we sure can. Yeah, in the junior college situation, it is always a quick turnover, and I know people that coach 4-year schools that always ask us how do you do it with the number of people you got to recruit coming in each year. But no, we got a good group on our women's side. Leah Saidara is a standout from Fergus Falls, who's had such a great career for the Otters, and now is with us. We're so happy to have her. Just an outstanding player, works extremely hard on her game, and she's a freshman. And then we have Katrina Buckholtz from Brandon Evansville. Katrina's is actually a redshirt. Without making a long story short, we're trying to get a appeal going where she can compete on a regular basis. She's practicing with us right now there's some eligibility things we're sifting through, but we're hoping to have her in regular tournaments. If not, she's just going to be a part of the team in redshirt throughout the fall. On the men's team, our returners are Joel Quam. Joel's from Battle Lake, went to high school at Hillcrest. He was our national qualifier medalist last year, had really the most clutch rounds of the year last year for us when we needed him to qualify for nationals. And then Mikey Vall is returning. Mikey's actually he's a 3rd-year sophomore. He played previously in one of the years where COVID made it where eligibility was not counted for a year, so he gets that in kind of a 3rd year. It was kind of an incomplete first year he had, so you can call it year 2.5 or 3 or whatever you want to call it. But he's back with a lot of experience. And Joel and Mikey, 2 sophomores. Mikey's from Eau Claire, Wisconsin, but also attended Hillcrest. Talk about great leaders to have on your team and high quality, first-rate individuals coming back for us, which has been a blessing for me as a coach. And then our incoming freshman, we have Riker Stuckenholtz. He's a freshman all-conference player from Big Lake High School. In fact, his high school coach is Bill Miller, whose 2 sons played for me previously. Alex Miller was on our national championship team from 2012, and then Austin Miller played basketball and golf for us here at M State. I think it was about 4 years ago, and so a good connection there. We have Leo Stepan from St. Cloud Tech, and Leo so far has been our most consistent player, putting up some very nice numbers. He can make a lot of birdies, and he's been fun to watch in the little play we've had so far. We also have Braxton Kerstein from Litchfield, and Braxton we'll probably talk about here in a minute. He had a great Monday and Tuesday at Jamestown for us, and really is gaining confidence. He's a freshman, and then Riley Stromlin from Baudette, north of Lake of the Woods High School, and really happy to have Riley on board. So that's our group of 6 men and 2 ladies, and man, it goes fast. We started practice mid to late August, and now we're hitting mid-September, and we got about three weeks to go in our fall season, and before we shut it down.
Well, the thing I've always loved about fall golf, and I'm sure you can address this from the coaching aspect, they're coming in off a summer of playing. It's not like you have to get tuned up and get your game in shape from square one like a spring season. So did you see these guys come in really with their game in good shape?
Well, there's 2 sides of that. One is certainly that's one thing we hear comments on from our freshmen is that they come in. First of all, the weather is so much nicer at the beginning of the year. That's why we just love fall golf, because the weather is ready to go. You're not rescheduling over and over again like you have to in the spring. That is nice from a standpoint. Typically our players are playing a lot and ready to go that way. The area that can be difficult, especially for freshmen, is our season kind of just they show up on campus and boom, golf starts, and everything's different. They're away from home for the first time. They're new set of friends and teammates, and college for the first time, classes, things being thrown on them, and then, hey, go play good golf right now. So from a mental standpoint, I think that's hard, and you see an adjustment period certainly that I think we dealt with in our first round when we really struggled at Deacon's Lodge on our first tournament hosted by Morris. But so there's some of that where a lot of big adjustments. It's not like it would be different, a little bit different if you're in the spring where you're used to your surroundings and some of those things. So there's the good and the bad with that, in that you come in playing a lot of golf, but especially for freshmen, a little easier for Joel and Mikey coming back to a known environment. But for freshmen, there's certainly a little bit of an adjustment period there.
Talk about your experience at Jamestown, because you, I think, if I remember correctly from your report, you were the only 2-year school there and some stiff competition. But overall, what did you see from the guys who really, you mentioned Braxton, who really stepped up and performed well?
Yeah, I was really, really encouraged. Our first tournament on August 31st was hosted by Morris, a great opportunity to play at one of the best courses in Minnesota, Deacon's Lodge. But we really struggled that day. It was a day where, first tournament, and I think some of our freshmen hadn't seen hadn't played on a course anything comparable to what they saw there, where trouble lurks everywhere. You combine that with the nerves of the first tournament, we really struggled. We came back on Monday and Tuesday, Jamestown, and I thought really showed signs of having a high quality team. We had it was actually, the first day was 36 holes on Monday, 36 continuous holes. So it was a grind. That first day, everyone was tired. Everyone went to bed early that night to get ready for day 2, which was 18 holes for a total of 54 holes. But really played some solid golf. Braxton Kerstein, as we mentioned before, who struggled on that first round. He came up big. He shot a 76. He was actually on pace for maybe something in the 72 to 74 range. He made a big number on his second to last hole that brought it up to a 76. But he played well. Then he backed it up in the afternoon round with a 79. Then on the third day, he put up a 10, which good golfers do at times. You sling a couple out of bounds like he did on one of the holes, and he had every reason to kind of pack it in and be upset and move on. But he battled back and gave us a good solid score after having that big number. So we were really happy to see Braxton gain confidence. I mentioned Leo Stapon also had a nice 2 days, 80 and 8, I think it was 82, 80, and 79, and he shot 80 the first day at Deacon, so he's really consistent. All 4 of his scores have been in between 79 and 82. He had 8 birdies in the last 2 rounds, so he can really make birdies. Just limit. I think with our whole team, limiting the big number at this level, especially if you can keep those doubles and triple bogeys off the scorecard, and just keep. Bogeys are fine. Just keep moving on, and you mix the pars and a few birdies in there, you're going to be in good shape. So I think that's kind of the focus of our team right now, is how can you eliminate those big numbers. But Joel hasn't quite played his best yet, but that's around the corner. We know his abilities, and know how he hits the ball. I thought Mikey Vol had 2 rounds of 83, which is a good solid number for us. And then Riker Stuckenholtz also has that ability as well too, and Riley was the only one who kind of struggled a little bit more. He's done some good things in qualifying and certainly has the potential. So overall, I was greatly encouraged. We really bounced back after a tough first day.
And your former golfer, Grant Genniger, playing for Valley City State, you got to see him, catch up with him a little bit, and he turned in a good round. I know you love to see your guys go on and compete when they have that opportunity.
Yeah, I walked up to him on the practice green with my scorecards and said, "Okay, Grant, you're on hole number 2. You'll be going off here." And he kind of looked, yeah. But then I gave him a big hug. He's one of our favorites we've ever had. Just an awesome individual, high quality young man, and he's 2-time All-American. Was a great player for us. And yeah, he played well. As it was certainly no surprise. We were a little bummed out we weren't paired with him, so we could watch him throughout the day as well. But we're hoping to maybe try to it's not on the schedule yet, but maybe put together a duel with Valley City State, because our scores were very comparable. I think over the 3 days, as a team, they beat us by 6 shots. So it'd be a good matchup anyway, and it'd be fun to spend some time with Grant again as well too.
How about Aaliyah? How does she do in the 2 tournaments?
Yeah, Aaliyah overall, if she was being honest, she felt she left some shots out there, especially the 3rd day, but she got 6th place overall among 23 4-year college players with scholarship college players. She's doing great, and again, she's getting adjusted to a new situation, new coach, new surroundings, different courses that you're not used to playing. So she's going to get there. Her work ethic is outstanding. She is a joy to coach. She's very talented. She doesn't have very many weaknesses in her game. Drives the ball extremely well. Is a good putter. She has good course management, and I think it's just a matter of time before she clicks it in. So she says she wasn't. She said she left some shots out there, but I was pretty pleased, and I know some even better scores are on the horizon.
I bet she's excited, as are all the guys too, about having your home invitational. That's, of course, she's very familiar with, and your guys have become very familiar with, especially Joel and Mikey over the last 2 years now. So you get to host your home invitational Sunday and Monday. Tell us the format, the teams that are coming, and what your expectations are.
Hey, Jason,
for
are you there?
Those 2 days.
Yep, it'll be assortment of players from 5 different colleges. Jamestown, they will not be bringing their top team. They'll be bringing their second and third teams, which is plenty good competition for us too, because the depth of those 4-year scholarship schools can be are very good, and they showed that in the tournament we just recently played. University of Minnesota Morris will be there. Sisseton Wahpeton College will be there, and then Minnesota West will have representation on the women's side. They have women's golf. They don't have men's golf, but they're just getting a women's golf program going. So it'll be those 5 colleges. I think it'll be certainly an opportunity if we can on the men's side to contend and hopefully have a chance to be close to the top going in the second day, and have a chance, especially on your home course. Sometimes there's a little extra pressure on your home course, but I think we have a little extra confidence the way we improved in Jamestown, and course is in great condition. Being out there, it's just a pleasure the way Lance Walbotny takes care of the golf course, and the crew takes care of it, and Kevin Swenson is just he's such an ally for our golf program and for golf in Fergus Falls, and we're just thankful to have a partnership and friendship with them, and to have our home invitational there on such a great golf course. We're very excited.
Right.
Yeah, and it's on Sunday, Monday coming up on the 18th and 19th. We'll be teeing off on Sunday at noon, and that'll be tee times, and then teeing off on Monday morning at 9 a.m.
All right, 18 holes each day?
18 holes each day, yep. 36 hole total for the championship. Yep.
And you mentioned we're getting close already to the end of the season. Your regional tournament is coming up, first full weekend in October, I believe.
Yeah, it's actually a little farther
Hey, Jason,
back
are you there?
than normal. And we're trying a new course. Yeah. The Victory Links in Blaine.
You are there.
The
Excellent.
3M Championship has their Monday
we got
qualifier.
about 2 minutes left in the interview.
Never been there. We'll have a practice run before. I'm sure it's going to be an
What's that? I'm sorry, I missed
awesome
that.
track.
I'm here, and I'm there.
Yeah, that's going to be the 8th and 9th of October on a Saturday,
Oh, yeah,
Sunday.
exactly.
So we'll be going there to compete, and everything kind of builds up to that.
I forgot to ask you, and I haven't been recording touchdowns. You didn't need those, did you?
Get better
that's
and have an
fine.
opportunity to play well at the biggest tournament, which is that.
That's
Okay,
national
sorry about
qualifier.
that.
Oh, no.
All right.
No
Do you ever feel the added pressure because of the success the program has had, or do the kids feel that? I know a lot of incoming freshmen
And also,
have
one other thing,
experience
you could
that they know the
probably
history
turn yourself
of
up
the
just
program,
like
but does
a
that
hair,
come into play
a little
at all?
bit.
Turn it up
I think a little
Okay.
bit. For
maybe
me,
this level here a
for me,
little bit.
it wouldn't be the end of the world.
Yeah, I think that's better.
Jeff and I have been
Sounds
fortunate
good.
to be there. I think it's going to be 11 or 12 times here now.
I'll text you if it's a little too loud or
It wouldn't be the end of the
anything.
world,
Okay,
but I
thanks.
want to see each group get there. I want to see
Yep,
Braxton
thank you. And we're back to you in about a minute.
On the women's side, Aaliyah, as the women are now going to compete, start competing there. Another thing I think of, we've had such great battles with Southwest Tech throughout the years. Last year we beat them by a little bit. There are some years where we've advanced where we've won by a lot, but there were 3 years where we've won in a team playoff by 1 and by 2. You just never know what you're going to get. And Scott Kennedy over there is such a great guy and a great coach. I feel there were years that they were a top 5 team in the nation that didn't even qualify. So there's part of me that feels a little bit of sadness for them, but you do get over it pretty quickly because you want your team to do well and you want your team to be there. But there's a little bit of a mixed feeling there when we've defeated them and close, because they do have a great program, good coach, and if they would happen to beat us one of these years, I'd certainly be happy for them and wish them well. But we're going to do everything we can to keep giving it a go.
Not this year.
Yeah.
No, Jason Retzloff, the head coach of the Spartan golf team. Jason's going to come back and bring the second half of today's football game to you after this timeout. You're listening to Spartan Football on Channel 977.
Well, welcome back here out at the campus of M State in Fergus Falls, where the Spartan football team is in total control. They lead 29-0 here at the half as the halftime is winding down. We got about 30 seconds left on the clock before we get going with the second half of play. A quick scoring recap of the first half. All the points came in the first quarter. And with 10:55 to play in the first quarter, it was Isaac Freitag putting the Spartans on the board. A 7-yard touchdown reception from K.J. Cooper. Carson McKnight's extra point was good. Spartans led 7-0. Then about a minute and a half later, it was A.J. Conte with a big play. A pick six, a 50-yard interception return. He intercepted Vermilion quarterback Miles Holder. Carson McKnight's extra point was good. That made it 14-0. Then Vermilion was punting deep back in their end zone, and they actually decided to accept a penalty after getting a successful punt off that would have given the ball to the Spartans at their 28-yard line. They accepted a running into the kicker penalty. They repunted, or attempted to repunt anyway, and the ball sailed over punter Brennan Bondis' hands and through the end zone for a safety. Spartans led 16-0. Then the Spartans scored 2 touchdowns in the last 44 seconds of the first quarter. A 5-yard touchdown run by K.J. Cooper, and then another pick six with 26 seconds to go to Sean Carter, a 27-yard interception return. The only extra point that was no good was the last one. Carson McKnight, there's a 15-yard penalty that pushed it back to about a 34-yard extra point attempt, and it was wide left. But 29 points in the first quarter for the Spartans. No scoring in the second quarter, and that's where we stand, 29-0. M State with the lead. And Vermilion will kick it away as we are about to begin the third quarter of play, as Brennan Bondis will kick it away. And it is fielded at the 18-yard line. And that's A.J. Conte up the left side across the 35, gets to the 40, out of bounds at the 41-yard line. Tackle made there by Avion Williams. And M State will take over 1st and 10 from their own 41-yard line. And 1st and 10 at the 41. K.J. Cooper in the first half was 9 of 18 throwing the ball for 127 yards and a touchdown pass. And it looks like we're going to have a different quarterback here in the second half. Well, let's see what it is here. It is going to be... Well, the handoff is going to be given to Rondarius Gregory. Gregory across the 45, across midfield. Good run, first down to the 48-yard line. And now we have another number not on the roster, number 27 for the Spartans. So we're going to try track that down here. So we'll try track down that number. Always a announcer's nightmare to have numbered players' names not in the roster. Handoff to Gregory. He's across the 45 up to the 43 in Ironhawk territory for the first down. That's a gain of about 7 on the play. So Gregory now with 8 carries for 48 yards in this game. as we're a little over a minute into the third quarter. Spartans 1st and 10 at the Vermilion 42-yard line. As Spartans with new quarterback in the game. You know what? It's Amarian Robinson, so there is a number. He's either number 13 or 27. It was listed multiple spots there. Gregory with a handoff, and he bangs off a couple attackers inside the 20. Rondarius is loose into the end zone, through the trees on the far end of the end zone for a touchdown. Rondarius Gregory with the big touchdown run. And just like that, the Spartans are now up 35-0 is the score. So a 42-yard touchdown run for Rondarius Gregory. The quarterback we do know is our Amarian Robinson. He was 13 previously. He's now 27. And Carson McKnight on to kick the extra point. It is up, and it is good. The extra point is good for McKnight. And a quick scoring drive for the Spartans with 13:28 to play in the third quarter. M State now with a 36-0 lead over Vermilion. We'll take a quick timeout, and we'll be back right after this.
Jim Iverson is with us from M State. Jim is the director of bands. Now, I said director of bands, plural, so explain the setup here. What bands do you have going at M State?
Okay, at M State we have concert band and we have jazz band. So those are the two performing groups that we have.
Do you have students overlapping and playing in both of those bands?
Yes, I have a number of students that are playing in both bands. A lot of our kids are, multi-talented.
Well, that's good, right? You like to have some versatility there.
That's correct. One of my students, he plays clarinet in concert band, and then he's playing tenor sax in the jazz band, for instance.
Jim Iverson from M State. He's the director of bands.
Back here at M State, Spartans lead at 36-0 with 13:28 to play in the third quarter. And that was a Rondarius Gregory, an explosive run up the middle, 42 yards for a touchdown. Touchdown number 5 on the season running the football for Rondarius. He has 6 total touchdowns if you add the receiving touchdown he's had. And he's a returning All-American, and he's quite a player. And he adds the Spartan lead up to 36-0 as Carson McKnight puts the ball on the tee, ready to kick it away. As the Ironhawks back standing at their own 7-yard line. And McKnight lets it go, and it's fielded by Amon Robinson. He's across the 15 to the 20, out to the left side, 25, cuts up the middle to the 30, brought down at the 31. Penalty marker on the field, back at the 16-yard line. So it's going to be illegal use of the hands on Vermilion. So it'll be first down, but they're going to bring the ball back. It would have been at the 31-yard line. But we'll see where it ends up here. I got, thanks to McLovin, we had the scores here in each of the sets of the Spartan volleyball victory. So it was just a phenomenal, dramatic match. Spartan volleyball team defeated Century College today 3-2. And Spartans won the first set 25-21. They lost the second set 25-21. Then they won the third 27-25. Fell in the fourth 28-26 and won the fifth 15-13. I mean, you talk about a close match all the way down to the end. Good atmosphere at the gym. Fans getting into it. Congrats to the Spartans. They stay undefeated in Southern Division play. Defeat a very good Century team today at the Spartan Gymnasium here on the Fergus Falls campus. So the ball gets moved back 10 yards, just shy of the 20-yard line. That is the 6th penalty of the game for Vermilion. And now it's going to be a loss on that first play. as Cheo Trotter came in quickly and met the ball carrier for a loss. It'll be a loss of 2. So 2nd and 12 coming up here for Vermilion inside of 13 minutes to play, third quarter. And they have it at about the 18-yard line. And the Ironhawks taking their time in the huddle. And 2 receivers right, 2 to the left, 2 receivers right, 1 to the left. In the backfield is James Baugh, the second, and he gets the handoff going up the middle, trying to break a tackle, short gain. I think on the tackle it was Jacob Dreetz, the linebacker, making the play. Gain of 2 for Baugh. Hasn't been able to get much going, 12 carries for 17 yards in the game. And it'll bring up 3rd down and 10 for Vermilion, from their own 20-yard line. Spartans at home next week. What a great matchup. Number 2 in the nation versus number 3 in the nation. Both teams undefeated. Number 2 in the nation, Nassau Community College, coming out from New York to play the Spartans. And not often you get junior college teams traveling across the country to play each other, but it's going to happen the next Saturday. 3rd and 10, handoff goes to Baugh, and he's trying to turn the corner, but he's unable to, and he's pushed back by a host of blue jerseys included in there on the tackle for the Spartans. It looks like Jacob Dreetz, Chris Heidel, or a couple of the tacklers in there. That'll be a loss of at least a couple, I would surmise. Maybe not. Yeah, it is a loss of a yard for Baugh. And a punt situation here for Vermilion. Going back, standing near midfield for M State to return is Deshaun Carter. As Brennan Bondus standing at his own 5-yard line, ready to punt it away. Bondus takes the snap. Another good spiraling punt. Bounces at midfield and literally takes a kick on a right angle to the Vermilion sideline out of bounds. They'll take over at midfield. So 10.5 minutes to play here, third quarter. And the Spartans will take over. 1st and 10. The ball stands right at midfield. So starting out wide left for M State is Eustace McGowan. Gregory in the Rondarius Gregory in the backfield. Gregory, after that big run, 9 carries, 90 yards, and a touchdown. So 1st and 10 from midfield. They're taking care of switching the balls around, and man, the forecast looks pretty good. Got a few clouds in the sky. Earlier at the beginning of the game, we thought something might be rolling in at 4:30. Well, it's almost 5, and we've been in good shape. So Mother Nature doing the job so far here. Back to pass, looking. Now flushed out to the left. Now goes back to Gregory, dumps off. It's complete, and Gregory gets by one man and another with some great footwork across the 35 to the 30 and down to about the 28-yard line. And that was a nifty move, nifty couple move there by Rondarius Gregory on that reception. His 3rd reception of the game for a total of 57 yards. And it'll be 1st and 10, M State at the 28-yard line. Still trying to figure out. I think it's KJ Cooper. Yeah, it is KJ Cooper. So KJ had changed jerseys, and it's a big guy. Yeah, it's KJ Cooper still out there. We had it at Marion Robinson for a moment with a different number, but it is KJ Cooper. Marion Robinson is down there. So here's Rondarius Gregory. No more nifty moves. Cuts back left. What a run by Gregory to the left side of the end zone, and that's an M State touchdown. Man, he's showing some moves here on the last few plays, and Rondarius Gregory with a 28-yard touchdown run, and he is showing his stuff here in the second half. He's now over 100 yards rushing for the game. He's got 2 touchdowns. And with 9:36 to play, Spartans lead at 42-0 as McKnight on to attempt the extra point. So Gregory, 10 carries, 118 yards. I got him for 175 total yards of offense in this one, as he's got 3 receptions. And McKnight on to attempt the extra point. Snap is a little bit low. They get it down, and it is up and easily through for Carson McKnight. 43-0. Spartans with the lead, 9:36 to play in the third. That's Rondarius Gregory, 28-yard touchdown run. We'll take a timeout. We'll be back with more Spartan football on Channel 977.
Today we are joined by Lori Charest, and Lori is the ceramics instructor at M State and a big part of the art program there. What do you enjoy most about being an instructor? I mean, obviously you love working with clay and ceramics through the years in your own business, but as far as being an instructor, what really excites you?
I do love the clay, but I love teaching. The students are so interesting. Every semester is a new cast of characters and a new set of challenges and accomplishments. And so I just really enjoy the students and the personalities of the students. And the classes are so small, so I really get to know them well.
Lori Charest from the art department at M State in Fergus Falls.
Well, got to see a good show from Rondarius Gregory here in the second half. 3 highlight reel type plays, 2 of them for touchdowns, a 42-yard touchdown run, a 28-yard touchdown run. And here's Carson McKnight ready to kick it away. Line drive, kick to the left, fielded by John Terrius Turner for Vermilion across the 15 to the 20, and knocked down and drilled down to the field. Good hit there by Joquez Sanders. And Vermilion will have it 1st and 10 at the 25-yard line, I think they'll start it off as. 1st and 10 at the 25 here for Vermilion. MCAC standings coming into today in conference play. Spartans and Mesabi both 2-0 leading the conference. NDSCS Central Lakes College 1-1. Both of their losses were to the Spartans. Then Rochester and Vermilion at 0-1. Minnesota West at 0-2. The other games in the MCAC today, Mesabi at Rochester. Should be an interesting matchup. And Central Lakes is at Minnesota West, which has NDSCS on the bye week this week in the MCAC. So on 1st and 10, here's Vermilion, and not a lot going here on the run. Short gain, well, maybe they got 2 or 3 on the play. As the ball carrier, looks like it was Yusuf Farah getting his first carry of the game. Yusuf Farah. And it'll be a gain of 3 yards. 2nd and 7 now for the Iron Hawks. 8:50 to play third quarter. M State 43. Vermilion nothing. Wide left for the Iron Hawks is Donnelly McCondo. 2 other receivers left, 1 to the right. And it is Miles Holder, the quarterback, out of the gun. He's back to pass. Under pressure, wrapped up, brought down for the sack. And getting to him was Jihad Burrows. And that's Jihad Burrows' 2nd sack of the day. It'll be a big loss for Vermilion, as the ball goes all the way back to the 19-yard line, a loss of 9 yards on the play. And it'll bring up 3rd down and about 16 here for Vermilion, as we approach the 8-minute mark to play here in the third quarter. Receivers out to the right for Vermilion are Turner, Jowers, and Williams. 1 out left. Now it's a different quarterback. It's Farah, who had the run previously, and he carries the ball up for a short gain. Maybe picked up about 3 yards on the play, and it'll bring up 4th and long. Actually, only about a yard on the play, actually, as it's marked at the 21-yard line. So punting unit is on. I don't have how many times they punted. Brennan Bondas has been out on the field quite a bit. And he'll get another opportunity here, standing at his own 6-yard line. Deshaun Carter ready to receive for M State. He's at midfield. And the tricky part has been the snap. Another low snap. Bondas mishandled it. The punt is deflected this time, goes straight up in the air, and it is picked up by Vermilion and brought down at the 34-yard line. So, man, that actually turned out as well as it could have hoped for Vermilion. It was almost fully blocked. It was partially, it got deflected. And then when it landed, it took a Vermilion bounce, and the Spartans have it at the Vermilion 34-yard line. Still great field position for M State, where they'll have it first down and 10, leading 43-0. 6:50 to play in the third quarter. And it is KJ Cooper back out on the field. 10 for 19 throwing the ball for 149 yards. So Cooper out of the gun. Back to each side. They're going to hand it off. This time it's champion Chromes. He's across the 30. 25, cuts back. Knocked out of bounds, 22, maybe the 21-yard line. Looks like he got to the 20-yard line. 14-yard gain for Chromes. And that'll be a first down for M State. Biggest run of the day, his 3rd carry of the day for Chromes. So 1st and 10. M State in the red zone now at the Vermilion 20-yard line. They've just had great field position all day. The defense has pushed Vermilion back, and they've had pressure on the punter. And they just continue to really have great field position, which obviously lends itself to great scoring opportunities. As Chromes takes the carry, he's brought down back from behind. Good tackle there made by Kylan Nash, the outside linebacker. And that'll be no gain on the play. 6-minute mark, third quarter. Spartans have run the ball today for unofficially about 134 yards, 118 of those from Rondarius Gregory. They've thrown the ball for 149 yards. So my quick math there tells me that's about 283 yards of total offense. Vermilion hasn't had not much at all, as here's the handoff to Chromes, left side across the 15, pushing his way down inside the 10, wrapped up, brought out of bounds around the 9. Tackle there made by Christian Alexander for Vermilion. Also in there on the tackle was Javari McCoy-Barber. And that'll be a first down, a 1st and goal for M State, with the ball at the 10-yard line. Chromes now 5 carries, 21 yards in the game. So 1st and goal. Spartans taking their time here in the huddle as Cooper will work out of the gun again. Chromes flanked left to his left. And it's Ian Stanton flanked to his right. And then a receiver out to each side. There's the handoff, goes to Chromes. Nowhere to go, but cuts back trying to create something, but he's brought down for a loss. 3-yard loss, it looks like, on the play. Ironhawk tackler Chauncey White-Oliver, inside linebacker, with the tackle.
Here's a 2nd down for the Spartans.
So it'll be 2nd down and goal. Ball back at the 13-yard line. 4:25 to play, third quarter. Going out wide left for M State is Eustace McGowan. And it looks like we have a timeout here. Yeah, Vermilion wants to talk it over with a red zone defense. 43-0, Spartans with the lead, 4:10 to play, third quarter. Take a quick timeout. This is M State Spartan football on Channel 977.
Laura Quaintance is in studio with us. Laura is the choral director at M State in Fergus Falls. If I'm a student coming in who has a passion for music and wants to pursue a profession in music, how are you going to equip me to get to that next level, and where do you see students go after the first 2 years?
It's a perfect place for them, first of all. They're home. This is where they should be. They can start at the level that they're at the comfort level that they're at, and we help them grow to be prepared for the next level and the university degree. Some students will decide they want to do music production, so they're coming and they're taking our technology courses related to music and music business and learning how to run a program or run a business. Some students want to come and take individual lessons and hone their skill on an instrument or on their voice, and then they transfer and become a music major or a music ed major or all of those opportunities. They can do all of that with us.
Laura Quaintance, she is the choral director at M State in Fergus Falls.
4:10 to play here in the third quarter, and the Spartans up 43-0 over Vermilion. Second and goal for M State at the Vermilion 13-yard line. Now the sun is out. We see some dark clouds off in the distance a little ways there, but we've avoided weather problems so far. And on the handoff goes to Chromes. Chromes is brought down again, and that'll be another loss on the play. Vermilion doing a good job defensively. And so it'll be third and goal, ball all the way back to the 16-yard line. Third and goal, tough last 24 hours for the Twins, man. They were, it was looking encouraging. Last night at about 8:30, they were up 3-0 in the eighth, and then the Guardians came back, tied the game, and took the lead, beat the Twins, and then they beat them in the first game of the doubleheader today. Twins now 6 games out in the AL Central. Here on third down, Cooper looking into the end zone, and the pass is a little bit too long, intended for Marquez Hurst. So that pass is incomplete. It'll bring a fourth down, and field goal unit coming out onto the field. Carson McKnight. Carson missed his only field goal attempt of the game, but it was a long one. It was a 48-yard attempt that was just a little short, maybe a hair to the right. This attempt looks to be about 32 yards, so a 32-yard field goal attempt here coming up for Carson McKnight. And snap is good, down, and the kick is up, and Carson McKnight knocks it through. The field goal is good. That's a 32-yard field goal for Carson McKnight. That makes it 46-0. Spartans with the lead here. 3:22 to play here in the third quarter. So Spartans in total control. Defense has been on point. You look at what I got. Only 18 yards passing for Vermilion so far in the game, and on the ground they only have 21 yards, so only 39 yards of total offense here for the Ironhawks today. Spartan defense has been outstanding. I think the big area of improvement maybe for MC, they did give the ball away a bit. They fumbled 3 times. Vermilion has taken the ball away from the Spartans 3 times on fumbles, and there were also Spartans have been penalized 4 times, but Spartans getting the job done here on their way to their 4th victory of the season in 4 games, leading 46-0. And here's McKnight approaching the ball on the ensuing kickoff. It's off and in the air, and it's fielded by Armstrong at the 5 to the 10, 15, going outside far sideline 20, and tripped up and brought down at the 25-yard line. And that is where Vermilion will take over 1st and 10 from their own 25-yard line. We've had multiple quarterbacks in the game, Miles Holder, Ben Glowak. Holder's been given more snaps than Glowak. And we'll see. Yeah, they're going to actually mark it all the way up just a hair. Well, oh yeah, now they do bring it back. I was right the first time. 25-yard line is where it's going to be at. So we'll see if it's Miles Holder or Ben Glowak coming out to run the show here at the quarterback spot for Vermilion. KJ Cooper on the Spartan side, 10 for 20 throwing the ball for 149 yards. And it looks like it's going to be Glowak this time. It was Holder on the last series. It will be Ben Glowak, number 13, freshman quarterback from International Falls. He will work out of the shotgun. He's got one receiver left, three to the right. And he takes the snap. He's going to keep it himself, looking to go right up the middle across the 25. Pile moves forward to around the 27-yard line. 3 Spartan tacklers in there. Looked like one of them was Joshua Gonley, linebacker. Yeah, it's going to end up being a 4-yard gain, actually, for Glowak on that run. He has 2 carries for 6 yards in the game. 2nd down and 6 for Vermilion. Receivers going out to the left are John Terrius Turner and Aaron Jowers and Avion Williams. And now it's back to Holder as they play the switcheroo quarterback game here. And Holder out of the shotgun. Looking right, dumps off the pass. It goes to Jowers, and Jowers brought down quickly for maybe a gain of about half a yard. And I believe on the tackle there for the Spartans was Joquez Sanders. Good play by Sanders. So it'll stay 3rd and 6. No gain on the pass completion. So Jowers has 2 catches for 1 yard today. So he's had 1 catch for 1 yard and 1 catch for no gain. That's kind of been the Spartans' defense. They've been just limiting anything that Vermilion has tried to do here in this ball game. Minute 45 to play 3rd quarter. It is Holder working out of the gun. The receivers are out wide left this time. He's back to pass. Flushed out of the pocket, dumps it off to Armstrong. And Armstrong's got some room. He's got a 1st down, 35-40 across midfield to the 40, and finally wrapped up and brought out of bounds at the 37-yard line. And that's the biggest play of the game for Vermilion from scrimmage, a 35-yard catch and run for Quantarius Armstrong. So a 35-yard completion. So Holder now is 5 of 11 throwing the ball for 48 yards. So 1st and 10 for the Ironhawks, and they're in an area they haven't been in too often, Spartan territory. 1st and 10 at the Spartan 37-yard line, just over a minute to play 3rd quarter. And here is Holder. Shotgun again. Oh, it's not Holder. Wildcat look, they go right to Armstrong, and he runs it maybe for a gain of a yard. So Armstrong with the carry.
Jeffrey Tola on the stop for the Spartans.
And Spartan down on the field is Sam Tagg, and Sam came off the field earlier in the game, but he walking off his own power, kind of holding his neck there a little bit. But he's going to come out of the game with 51 seconds to go in the 3rd. It'll be 2nd and 9 here for Vermilion as Justin Rowe walks Sam Tagg. Justin Rowe, the Lake Region Healthcare athletic trainer for M State, walks Tagg off the field. So 2nd and 9 now as the officials signal the clock to start ticking again with 45 seconds and counting to go here in the 3rd quarter. Vermilion 2nd down and 9 at the Spartan 36-yard line. And it is Miles Holder, the quarterback, out of the gun. Receiver out to the right is Avion Williams. 3 receivers to the left. Slot left is John Terrius Turner. And now looks like the Ironhawks didn't like what they saw. They're going to call a timeout to talk over their personnel.
So that means you
Head coach for the Ironhawks, Dickie Brooks, not happy with where his team was. So 21 seconds to go. We'll be having a break here at the after the 3rd quarter concludes. So we'll just keep it right here in the meantime. 46-0. M State with the big lead. Their most recent score was a 32-yard field goal by Carson McKnight. He's had another nice day. The only kicks he's missed today have been a 48-yard field goal and then a 34-yard extra point. 34-yard extra point after a Spartan penalty. Otherwise, he's made 5 extra points. Oh, wait, is it? Yeah, 5 extra points, I think, and then a 32-yard field goal. Fun player to watch for M State at the kicking position. So 2nd and 9, Vermilion back out on the field, and here is Holder. Drops back to pass, looking right, looking deep for his receiver, and it is thrown a little bit too far, incomplete, intended for Avion Williams. Deshaun Carter with the coverage for M State. Holder now 5 of 12 for 48 yards passing. And with 14 seconds to play in the third quarter, it's 3rd and 9 now for Vermilion at the M State 36-yard line. And Holder out of the shotgun. He is back to pass, looking across the middle, and now as he throws it, he was hit as he was thrown, and it is incomplete. Spartans put the pressure on, and Holder, as he was releasing the pass, got hit on the arm, and it went and knocked the ball. The ball only went about 10 yards for what was intended to be a 25-yard pass. So 9 seconds to play third quarter, and it's 4th and 9, and Vermilion in Spartan territory sure going to go for it here on this one. And it is Miles Holder, the freshman, out on the field for the Iron Hawks. The running back is Quantarius Armstrong, flanked to Holder's right. 3 receivers left, 1 all the way to the right near the Spartan sideline. Holder's back to pass. Looking left, pass is incomplete as John Terrius Turner got his hand on it, tipped it once, twice, but couldn't haul it in. And the Spartans will take over on downs here with the last play of the third quarter coming up in just a moment here. It's A.J. Conte. Good coverage there for M State. So 3 seconds left in the third quarter, and the Spartans will run one more play here before the third quarter comes to an end, leading 46-0. Now another one of my greatest fears. They got number 12 in, and I don't see a number 12 on our roster. So it's the third time this has happened here. Do we have a number 12 on?
Put 4 seconds on.
So I've got to get 4 seconds back on the clock. That is done. We're ready for what is very likely to be the final play of the third quarter. And now new quarterback in the game. The handoff goes to Ian Stanton. Stanton across the 40 to the 41, gains 5 yards on the play. And that'll be the end of the third quarter. We're going to take a break. I'm going to try to find out who number 12 is here as we go to the fourth quarter. My roster doesn't have a 12. Do you have a number 12? We'll have it here in a second then. So we'll take a break at the end of the third quarter. 46-0. Spartans lead over Vermilion. We'll take a timeout. We'll be back with fourth quarter action in just a bit.
Stephanie Gerhardson is with us, the director of the theater at M State in Fergus Falls. If you have a person who's really interested in pursuing theater at the next level, what are the things that really will benefit them by coming to M State first and getting that their footing in theater and maybe just figuring it out which way they want to go?
The thing about it is, we are obviously smaller. The benefit of that is you get to do everything. You kind of get exposed to everything, whether you want to or not, And so I have students, standing on the stage while I'm trying to focus lights, or I have students running the light board or the sound board. Sometimes students will just say, I don't have time this semester, can I just do tech? So they're don't have to be at rehearsal every day. So then they just start getting into it, or they help with props, or they take a stagecraft class and kind of figure it out. So because we are smaller, a lot of my students have to multitask. I will have a student being an actor and stage manager, which is really hard. But, they can do it. And so they just are able to experience everything, and they don't have to pick.
Steph Gerhardson from the college theater department at M State.
Well, the fourth quarter is underway, and it starts off with a 4-yard run for Spartan running back Ian Stanton. That brings up 3rd down and 1. The number 12 quarterback is Christian Dew Reed. And the snap goes right to Dew Reed. He's going to run with it. He's got a first down. Sidesteps one man across midfield up to the 49-yard line. And that is a gain of 6 yards for M-State's Christian Dew Reed. So 6-yard gain, a first down, and we do have an Iron Hawk down on the field, so an official timeout here with 14:12 to play in the game. Spartans leading 46-0. They're going to tend to this Vermilion player, the training crew out there, again as well. After the game, we will name our Spartan Booster Club Player of the Game. 46 points, a lot of possibilities for that on the M-State side. And got to give a lot of credit to the defense here in this game too, really limiting Vermilion all over the place. Well, hopefully, I can't see the number of the player down for Vermilion on the defensive side, but they're taking some time out here as all the players out on the field and on both sidelines on a knee and hoping for the best, and it looks like it's not going to be taken care of immediately here. So we're going to take an injury timeout with 14:12 to play here in the fourth quarter. So we'll take an injury timeout, and we'll be back with more Spartan football in just a bit.
Jim Iverson is with us from M-State. Jim is the director of bands. When a student comes to you and says, I want to be involved in your band program, what's the commitment level? I mean, how much are you expecting from me rehearsal-wise? What are assigned projects that we have? How would you answer that question? How much time is going to be commanded from the music department?
Depends on their area of study. If they are going into being a music major, I probably have a little bit higher expectations for them as far as, practice time and things like that are requirements for their instrument, because we want to send them off to a 4-year institution. Then hopefully after they've been at M-State, when they're off to that new institution, they need to be coming in with the expectations that college has. But on the other hand, students that are just there for playing for their own pleasure, it can be a matter of just showing up for rehearsals on a Tuesday evening.
Jim Iverson from M-State, he's the director of bands.
Coming off the injury, Ian Stanton gets the carry. Really a nice run across the 40 up to the 37-yard line. That's, I think, about a gain of 13 there for Stanton. 3 carries, 22 yards on the game. The injured player was Kylan Nash, outside linebacker for Vermilion. And he was helped off the field, getting tended to here now as we speak. But 13 and a half minutes to play in the game. Spartans up big, 46-0. And it's 1st and 10 at the Vermilion 37. Dew Reed at the quarterback spot, hands off to Stanton again. Moves off to the left, up the middle, short gain. Looks like he picked up maybe a yard on the play. It was Hansen on the tackle for Vermilion. 2nd down and 9 for the Spartans. Spartans on their way to a 4 consecutive wins to start the season. Coming off a big win last week at outstanding opponent at Wap Science, holding the Wildcats to no points in the second half to win 35-29. And the defense haven't given up any points since the first half of that game. They haven't given up any today. Here's Dew Reed handoff. It goes up the middle across the 35 to about the 33-yard line. And it was Damian Diver with the run. Diver picks up on his first carry, 4 yards. Damian Diver, running back from Barnum, Minnesota, freshman, 225 pounds. So 3rd down and 6 here for M-State. Right at about the 12-minute mark coming up here to go in the game. Dew Reed working out of the shotgun again. Out slot left for the Spartans is Corey Delk. Up the middle. Here's Stanton across the 30, 25-20, and brought down around the 17-yard line. Ian Stanton, a nice carry of 16 yards on the play. And I believe on the tackle for Vermilion was Javari McCoy-Barber. So 1st and 10 Spartans, they have it in the red zone at the Vermilion 18-yard line, leading 46-0. Good opportunity to get another unit some reps in here with the game in hand. Receiver out wide right for M State is Walter Quick Jr., freshman. As Dew Reed out of the gun. Been looking to keep it himself. Fakes right, cuts back to his left. He's got a little bit of room now to the 15, and he is chased out of bounds at the 14-yard line. That'll be a 4-yard gain for Dew Reed. So Christian Dew Reed now. A couple of carries for 10 yards in the game as we're at the 11-minute mark to go. 2nd down and 6, 4-yard gain for Dew Reed. And Dew Reed is limping here a little bit coming off the field after making that run. And little officials timeout to give Dew Reed a chance with injury. Kind of hopped off the field on his own, coming all the way across from the far sideline. So KJ Cooper is in the game. He is back in. And that's KJ Cooper is a starting quarterback. 149 yards passing in the game. Spartans are going to want to keep him healthy. Here's the handoff to Stanton up the middle. Stanton's got some room across the 10, down to about the 6-yard line. Stanton doing some nice running here.
That'll be a 1st and goal, Spartans.
And that'll be a 9-yard first down run. Stanton up to 48 yards in the game. 6 carries, so he's gotten some carries here. He's averaging 8 yards per carry on his six runs. .10:05 to play, 4th quarter, 46-0. Imp State leading big. KJ Cooper out of the gun. Ian Stanton in the backfield. Walter Quick Jr. wide right. Corey Delk to the left. Handoff goes to Stanton. Cuts back from right to his left. Tripped up. Did he get in? He did not quite get in. He was tripped up. Looked like he was going to get in. Good tackle made at the last moment. I think it was by Christian Alexander.
2nd and goal for the Spartans.
So it'll be down at the 1-yard line. So a 4-yard gain for Stanton on that run. We'll see if they give him the ball back. He kind of earned this one. He's racked up a lot of yards on the ground here. So we'll see if they go back to Stanton. 2nd and goal from the 1. And Stanton is in the backfield with Cooper working out of the gun. Flank to Cooper's left is Damian Diver. And here's the handoff to Stanton. They do go back up to him, and he's met, and I don't think he got in. I think he's just probably a foot shy. He had some forward progress and was shoved back. So no gain on the play. He might get a couple more shots at it. We'll see. So it's 3rd and goal from the half-yard line for the Spartans. 8:35 to play here in the game. KJ Cooper getting instructions from the coaching staff back into the huddle. Remember that Ironhawks, no sophomores on their roster. They've only played 1 game so far this year, so there's new head coach. They're kind of learning on the fly here a little bit. But 3rd and goal from the 1. Cooper, now he takes the snap. Now he's going to throw it away as he was almost wrapped up. And that's a little scary late in the game to see KJ Cooper get wrapped up around the ankles. He's fine. But it's going to be a... I didn't quite catch the penalty there. What the penalty?
I think it was offsides.
Well, it wouldn't be offsides because they switched it to 1st down. They changed the marker to 1st down. We didn't see what the penalty was, or couldn't hear it. Or they got it at 1st and goal from the half-yard line. Cooper hands it off to Stanton. He's going to try to get his way in this time. I think he did. He did. Ian Stanton into the end zone for a Spartan touchdown, and good to see Ian get into the end zone after really doing a nice job running the football for the Spartans on that stanza with 8:02 to play in the game. Spartans advance their lead up to 52-0. as Carson McKnight on to attempt the extra point. Again, the holder for M State is Jesse Stills, defensive back, freshman. And there's a good snap. Kick is up, and the kick is high and strong and good. Extra point is good by Carson McKnight. And that ups the Spartan lead to 53-0 with 8:02 to play in the game. We'll take a quick timeout. Good drive for the Spartans. Ian Stanton gets into the end zone for a touchdown. 53-0. Spartans with a lead. We'll be back after this break.
Jeff Sands is a member of the music faculty at M State. As far as looking ahead to welcoming new students next year, high school students this year, should they start preparing now if they're wanting to get involved in the college here and specifically in the music department? Is it too early to get started in making your prep for next year?
Well, not really too early. I mean, we're really welcoming. I guess the real pressing thing is if you are a potential student and you're wanting to get a scholarship, because scholarship does require a little bit more of an application, and in music, we do have an audition that is along with that. As far as just participating, either in our courses or in our ensembles, that probably doesn't require as much advanced work or preparation to get ready for. They're probably already playing, like let's say if it's a high school student that's graduating, you're probably already performing in your high school ensemble. So if you're still planning on continuing performing in an ensemble with us, then it's simply a matter of registering for the course at M State.
Jeff Sands from M State in Fergus Falls.
Carson McKnight with a kickoff. It is fielded by Amon Robinson. He's across the 25 up to the 30 and lunges forward near the 35-yard line. And Vermilion has it 1st and 10 from their own 35-yard line. Spartans coming off a touchdown to take the lead 53-0. Ian Stanton with the 1-yard touchdown run, as the Spartans have had 7 touchdowns in the game. One of them, the first one, was a receiving touchdown. A couple of pick sixes, and then 4 other touchdown runs. 2 by Rondarius Gregory, 1 by Ian Stanton, 1 by KJ Cooper. Also, Spartans have a field goal, a 32-yard field goal by Carson McKnight, and then a safety off a missed snap punt. Now there's a penalty marker on the field that I missed as I was talking through the scoring play. It looks like an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty on Deshaun Carter. So that'll be a 15-yard penalty. Not sure what happened at the end of that run there. But Carter tagged with a penalty, and that'll move the ball up. Probably to midfield. Yep, it's going to go right to midfield. So Ironhawks with good field position to start off this drive. They're trying to put points on the board. They did not score last week in their loss to Mesabi. Spartans have not given up any points as a defensive unit since the first half in their game against North Dakota State College of Science. Now the run on the first play of the drive here is a 3-yard gain. Octavius Cherry with his first carry of the game. So a 3-yard gain, 2nd down and 7 coming up for Vermilion. 7:35 to play in the game. The ball marked just shy of the Spartan 47-yard line. The receivers out to the right for the Ironhawks are Lamb and McCondo. Avion Williams out to the left. And taking the ball, it is going to be Cherry again. Moving to his right up across the 45 to the 44. Picked up another 3 yards. And then that'll bring us to a 3rd down and 4 inside of 7 minutes to play in the game. So 3rd and 4 for Vermilion at the M State 44-yard line. Big weekend here at M State for athletics. Spartan volleyball team got a couple wins Friday and Saturday. Dramatic one over Century College in 5 sets. Spartan football team on their way to victory, and then the Spartan golf team at home hosting the Spartan Invitational on Sunday. Tee time starting at noon tomorrow at Pebble Lake Golf Course, and then 9 a.m. for the second round on Monday. It's Cherry taking the snap, and he's across the 40. He's got a first down. He's got more to the 35-30, 25 down to the 20-yard line, maybe to the 19, and a very nice run there for Octavius Cherry. And that'll be a gain. That'll be a pretty big gainer there. Gain of about 24 yards there for Cherry, and that'll bring up 1st and 10 for Vermilion into the Spartan red zone to the 20-yard line. Might be the first time they've been in the red zone today. So Cherry getting 3 carries the last 3 plays for 30 yards. 5:45 to play in the football game. 53-0, Spartans with the lead. And this time, Wildcat look. It's Armstrong. He's going to take it. Cut back to his left. Pile moves forward to about the 17-yard line, a gain of 3. One of the Spartans in there on the tackle was Jihad Burrows. So 2nd down and 7 at the 17. Vermilion trying to get points on the board for the first time of the year. They got 2 receivers right, 1 to the left. And in the quarterback position, or Wildcat, whatever you want to call it, Armstrong, he's going to throw it this time. Penalty mark around the field. Now Vermilion got some room, and into the end zone off the swing pass is Cartel Lamb for the touchdown, but there is a penalty on the field. We'll see if that stands or if it gets called back. But it is going to be on the Spartans, and that penalty will be declined, and the touchdown is good. So Cartel Lamb gets into the end zone, and that is a 17-yard touchdown reception from the pass by Quantarius Armstrong. So the first points of the season for Vermilion. This is their 2nd game of the year. 53-6, Spartans lead it big. And let's see, are they going to go for 2 or extra point? Looks like maybe the extra point is Brennan Bondus is on the field. Well, Brennan Bondus is holding, and it looks like their kicker is the quarterback, Ben Glowak. And they fake it. They dish the pass up the middle, and did they push the pile into the end zone for 2? They did not, as Elijah Moore is stopped short. 2-point conversion fails in our score after the 17-yard touchdown reception by the Ironhawks Cartel Lamb. Spartans with a big lead, 53-6 with 4:51 to play in the game. We'll have a kickoff coming up here in just a moment. You're listening to Spartan Football on Channel 977.
We're joined by Lori Charest, and Lori is the ceramics instructor at M State and a big part of the art program there. She and John Cox run that program. What can you tell me about what the classes would be like?
There's always an element of lecture, demonstration, work on your own. There's a lot of time that you have to work within your studio time with the instructor there. And I think that's another really great thing about our college, that John and I are professionals in our field. There's not graduate assistants. We are the teachers, and so we have a wealth of experience to share with the students.
Lori Charest from the art department at M State in Fergus Falls.
Well, good for the Ironhawks. They got some points on the board. A touchdown, Cartel Lamb. Cartel Lamb, the 165-pound freshman wide receiver from Akron, Ohio, gets into the end zone for Vermilion's first points of the year. Remember, Vermilion, this is only their 2nd game of the year. Spartans, this is their 4th. And they got shut out last week against Mesabi. And Spartans almost got the shutout here today, but Ironhawks get into the end zone with Cartel Lamb, and now Brennan Bondus will kick it away. And approaching the ball is Bondus, and he lets the kick go. It is fielded by A.J. Conte at the 17. He's across the 20, 25, 30. Accelerates forward across the 40 up to the 43-yard line. And that'll be Spartans starting 1st and 10. Probably right around the 45-yard line. It's looking was where they'll get going with 4:45 to play. Spartans had Christian Reed in the game as a backup quarterback, and he had to come out with an injury. And I don't know where he's at. I don't see him. Yeah, KJ Cooper's not going out on the field. So let's see who's going to take over the quarterback spot here. Or they might just go pure Wildcat here. Looks like it's Ian Stanton in the quarterback spot. He's been the running back, and he's gonna call it maybe a Wildcat look. Stanton, no, he's gonna take the quarterback reins. He's about to hand it off, but the whistle blew, and now a little extra pushing and shoving there as timeout is called by Vermilion. So Vermilion going to use the timeout with 4:44 to play here in the game. Didn't like the personnel they had on the field or what the alignment was, so they quick called timeout before the Spartans got the play snapped. And we'll just keep it right here. And talk about M State and their transfer pathways. The M State's Associate of Arts and transfer pathway degrees are designed for students who plan to transfer to a 4-year university to complete a bachelor's degree or beyond. Students can transfer to one of the 9 universities in the Minnesota state system or a variety of other private and public college or universities. Transfer pathways on the Fergus Falls campus include the Associates of Arts degree, Liberals Arts and Sciences, Associates of Arts, Social Science emphasis, music, accounting, art, biology, business, history, political science, psychology, or theater arts. The transfer pathways available at M State, Fergus Falls. Back to action here, first down. Stanton at the quarterback spot. He's just going to take it and run with it. Cuts back to the 45-50 into Vermilion territory, brought down at the 40-yard line. 15-yard gain for Stanton. 10 carries, 68 yards for Ian Stanton. So it'll be 1st and 10 for the Spartans at the 40-yard line. So Ian Stanton really doing a nice job running the football here, getting reps in the second half, averaging 6.8 yards per carry. One of those carries was a 1-yard touchdown run. And he's kind of playing the Wildcat quarterback spot here a bit with 4:05 to play in the game. Flank to his right, and I believe it's Damian Diver, if I got the angle right on the number. 2 receivers left, 1 to the right. Stanton's going to keep it and run with it across the 40, 35, staying in bounds, runs out of bounds at about the 31-yard line. Gain of 9 on the play for Stanton.
Just mosey on down to the end zone.
I'll bring up 2nd and short here now. Spartans up big, 53-6. With 3.5 minutes to go, so 2nd and 1 coming up. Stanton up to 77 yards. Who knows? Maybe he'll end up with 100-plus yards if they keep feeding him the rushing attempts here. Going out to the left for the Spartans, Isaiah Griffin and Corey Delk. Wide right is Walter Quick Jr. Slot right is Rick Gross, the tight end. And Stanton out of the gun. Hands it off. This time Diver's going to get it, and he's brought down pretty quickly.
Diver on the carry for a short
Maybe picked up a half a yard there at the most. And it's going to be 3rd and short. We'll call it no gain on the play for Damian Diver. Under 3 minutes, 2:43 to be exact to go. And, man, we dodged a bullet on the weather here today. It's getting a little cloudier coming over, but all the forecasts had some thunderstorm activity, or maybe coming around about 4:30, and that just never materialized. Thankfully, we're getting this game in without any type of delay or any type of precipitation here at the moment, as Stanton working out of the gun. And he'll keep it himself. Turns the right side. He's got a little bit of room. Met at about the 27. Pulls the defender forward to the 26-yard line. That's good for a Spartan first down. Now over 80 yards. 82 yards on the day for Stanton. 12 carries, 82 yards. And now we're inside of 2 minutes. That's a first down for the Spartans. And the Spartans at this point maybe will just put it on a knee and call it a day here with this big lead. Let the clock tick as much as they can. Now we're down under a minute 45. And Stanton working out of the gun. Taking all the time off the play clock here before they run the play. And now, well, still waiting a little bit. Really methodically letting all the time go. Takes the snap. Now they hand it off to Diver up the middle. Goes all the way to the 20-yard line. It's about a 6-yard gain for Damian Diver.
6 yards.
3 carries, 10 yards today for Diver.
2nd and 4 for the Spartans.
So 2nd and 4 coming up.
What's the clock down?
1:16 to play. It was, there was a penalty. Vermilion got off to an early start. It was offsides. Spartans decline it. And it's 2nd and 4 coming up. Clock on the move again, and the Spartans look like they are in their victory formation here, ready to put it on a knee with 1 minute to go. Stanton ready to take the snap out of the shotgun. I don't know, they might be able to, trying to make it so they only have to run one more play here. Yeah, they're letting the clock continue to tick. Now Stanton's going to be able to take the snap, put it on a knee, and essentially the game will be over. Stanton puts it on a knee, and there's 35 seconds left on the clock, but the clock will not stop. And that is going to do it here as the clock is running out. 53-6 is the final score here. No, I think that should do it.